Come in. Welcome. Welcome to Mystery Theater. I'm Hyman Brown. Of all the fears that plague mankind, probably the most terrible was the possibility of being buried alive. Oh, don't shrink away. You have nothing to fear, modern medical science being what it is. But not so many years ago, the thought of waking up in one's closed coffin beneath 6 feet of earth, that was a horrible thought indeed, and an ever-present danger, which led, in at least one case, to a remarkably strange experiment.
Let me go. Oh, please let me go. I'm dead, I tell you, I'm dead.
Guy, I must release her.
No, Gordon, no, she's alive.
Only my spirit lives. My body has been dead for days.
Guy, I beg you, let me release her from the spell of mesmerism I cast over her.
Yes, yes. Release me.
No, Victorine, no. Oh, no, my darling. If I let Gordon break his hold on you, you will be dead, and I can't face the horror of that.
Then a worse horror awaits you. Horror. Far, far worse.
Our mystery drama, The Premature Burial, was adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic, especially for the Mystery Theater, by George Lothar, and stars Keir Delay. I'll be back shortly with Act 1. As you may know, I'm an inveterate and incurable reader of diaries. The Paston letters, John Evelyn, Pepys, Boswell. I've read them all, and many more besides. Daily journals of lesser-known people. In so doing, I've happened upon some curious tales, but none, I assure you, that can match the sheer terror of the one I bring you now. I happened upon it years ago in a small, out-of-the-way bookshop in London, England. It's the journal of a young doctor, Dr. Gordon Rainey, and it recounts certain events that took place in the year 1810. Now, let me see where to begin. Oh yes, here. I arrived at the Bull and Bear Inn in Salisbury, the doctor writes, in the worst of storms.
And having stabled my horse and seen to its proper care, soon found myself in the rooms my friend Guy Peterson had in for himself. In all the years I'd known him, since undergraduate days at Cambridge, I'd never known this closest of my friends to be in such a state of overwrought nerves.
Thank God you come, Gordon. Thank God you're here at last, my friend.
I came as soon as I could after getting your message, but what is it? I've never seen you in such a state of nerves. Thank God, you're actually trembling.
She's dead. Dead, you see, and they buried her last week, but I must see her once again. Gaze on her face and...
Now look at me.
What?
Look at me. Look full into my eyes.
What? Gordon, what are you doing?
I'm merely calming you down through the use of mesmerism.
Mesmerism? What in heaven's name is that? And why do you stare at me? As if I...
That's right, old friend, that's right. Calm down. Quiet yourself. Relax. Just loosen up. Let yourself go. That's it. That's it. There now. Feel better?
Why, yes. But how did you do it? What is this? Mesmerism, did you say?
Yes. A means of controlling another person by, well, to put it simplistically, dominating him with one's own will, the force of one's own willpower.
But that's miraculous, and yet you did it. I feel ever so much calmer now because you made me.
Good. And now, Guy, calmly tell me why you sent that urgent message to meet you here in Salisbury.
Victorine is dead.
Well, I know how you must feel, and of course I sympathize deeply, but her death, isn't it a blessing?
A blessing? She's dead. Victorine is dead.
And at last free of the hellish life Sir Giles Buckingham led her. Come now, Guy. Is that not something to thank God for?
Well, I suppose so.
Oh, my dear good friend. I know how much you loved her.
Loved her? She was my heart, my soul, my very life. A life that's ended for me when her family forced her to marry Sir Giles.
We've talked of it again and again, but now that she is dead, perhaps you can try to take up your life again.
I must see her, Gordon.
See her?
That's why I'm here. Why I asked you here. I must see her, Gordon. Gaze upon her lovely face once more.
But she's buried a week ago, you said.
In the family vault on the Buckingham estate. I want to go there tonight. Force entry into the vault. Open her coffin. And look at her once more. Just once more. I need you because I fear to go alone.
There is more to fear than that, Guy.
What do you mean?
A body, dead and buried for a week in a damp and virtually airless vault. Guy, you'll not see Victorine as she was in life.
I shall see her.
Guy, this is mad. I beg you to...
I must! I don't care what she has become. I must see her once more. Must I do it alone? Or will you help me?
If it is your wish, you wish it so strongly, then... Yes, I'll help you.
We must be careful not to be discovered, Gordon. This moonlight makes everything as clear as day.
There'll be no one about unless the estate is guarded at night against poachers.
Let's hope not. Wind kicking up. That should help a little. Cover any sound we make.
Yes.
Here's the gate to the estate.
Is it locked?
Soon find out. No. Come. There. So much for that.
Now, the location of the vault, do you know where it is?
Yes. That line of copper beeches on the hill. Do you see them?
Yes.
The vault lies just beyond. Come.
Wait.
That barking dog. If the place is guarded by a dog, or even dogs...
Now, don't let your nerves get the best of you. Bad enough to face trouble when it comes, not before.
That dog. It's here on the grounds, and closer. Gordon?
Steady, man, steady. Yes, it's on the grounds, all right, and coming this way. Come, let's step out into the open.
Into the open?
If the dog is coming this way, I want to meet it in full moonlight.
Why, Gordon? Why?
Because my only chance of subduing the beast, if it can be done, will be with my eyes. My voice, too, yes, but the eyes. There, I see it. Coming over the hill against the moonlight.
Good Lord. A monstrous animal, Gordon.
It's a mastiff, and a big one. And he's caught our scent. Come on, step out into the moonlight. Quickly, or all is lost.
Yes. Gordon, I'm scared.
Stand still. Make no move. Leave this to me. All right, boy. Quiet down. Quiet down now. That's a good dog. That's it. We're not here to do you any harm, boy. We're friends. Your friends. Yes, that's right, boy. There's a good dog. A fine dog.
Unbelievable. You stopped him with your eyes. Held him to the one spot just by looking at him, and with your voice you soothed him. You calmed him. Took all the fight out of him.
Yes. And now, let's get on to the vault.
Here we are. The vault.
Locked?
Afraid so. I'll have to use the pry bar I brought.
Well, be as quiet as you can.
Yes. There! Gate's open. We can go in. Light the lantern, Gordon.
Guy, once more, I urge you not to go through with this.
I must. You know I must.
Now listen to me.
Light the lantern.
I'm lighting the lantern, but listen to me. You remember Victorine as she was, the lovely, innocent, gentle girl who was forced to marry Sir Giles 7 years ago. The torments he put her through, the daily torture of living with such a beast, these alone would have changed her face. But she's dead as well, and buried here a whole week. Guy, I beg you once again, remember her as she was, not as she must now be.
Shine the lantern about.
Very well.
Oh, dear heaven, there are at least a dozen coffins piled one on another. How can we tell which is Victorine's?
Well, hers would be one of the topmost. Yes, and the velvet covering would be the newest. The brass studs still bright. Ah, that one up there, I think.
Let's get it down and see.
Just let me put the lantern over there. So, now then, I'll take the head of the coffin, you the other end. Can you reach it?
Just.
All right, pull then. Now, pull it to the edge. And when we get it to the edge, we can put our hands under it and let it down very gently.
Yes. Gordon.
I heard it.
What was it? It can't be what I thought.
A voice.
And it comes from inside the coffin. Oh, dear heaven above, this is Victorine's. Gordon, she's alive. Alive.
Let's put it on the ground. On the ground. Easy now. Easy. The pry bar now. Pry off the lid.
Yes.
Well, hurry, man.
My nerves. Hands trembling, no strength.
Give it to me. Now then.
Hurry.
Well, I'm working as fast as I can. There.
The lantern. Quickly, the lantern.
Yes.
Shine it into the coffin.
There.
Oh, look. Victorine alive. Alive.
Guy, it's you. Oh, God, thank you. Horrors I've been through.
All right, gently now, my dear, gently.
Gordon.
Yes, my dear. Come on, Guy, lend a hand. Help me lift her out.
Oh, I can't believe this.
Buried alive. Oh, my dearest, it must have been horrible for you.
I don't want to think about it. I can't tell you. To wake up, at first not knowing where you are, and everything black, pitch black, suffocating, scarce enough air to breathe.
Best not to think about it.
And then you move, and you feel the sides of the coffin narrow, so narrow, and you reach up and you touch the lid, but the lid's only an inch or two from your face, and then suddenly, you know. Oh, heaven help me, you know. You scream with the terror of it. You scream and scream and
Stop
scream.
it. Stop it at once.
Yes, Gordon.
You're alive, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
And thanks to what I called a mad impulse, you're safe.
Oh, yes. Oh, my darling girl, my dearest.
Sweetheart.
Now, listen to me,
darling.
you two. Listen, we face a problem.
What problem?
Well, how are you going to take her back to Sir Giles? How explain all this? Sir Giles will have us arrested for breaking and entering.
She's not going back to Sir Giles. She's coming with me, away from this hellish
Oh,
place.
my darling.
You can't do that. She is his wife.
I'll die before I let Sir Giles get his hand on it.
A promise you may very well keep, my dear sir.
What?
It's Giles.
How did you...
The barking of my dog aroused me. I, in turn, roused my keepers, who are out and about scouring the woods. As it happens, I came this way, saw the light of your lantern flickering in the vault, and prepared to surprise what I thought to be grave robbers. Well, as it happens, I am the one surprised. Indeed, I'm shocked. I scarcely expected to find Victorine alive.
Yes, she's alive. And from here on, Sir Giles will live, I pray, a far happier life with me than ever she did with you. Move aside, sir.
I think not. If you're going anywhere, my friend, you and your accomplice, it's to jail. As for my wife, since she is returned to life, she will also return to me.
Oh, no!
You don't move, sir, I warn you. But if you do, it will give me extreme pleasure to blow your head off with this gun. Extreme pleasure.
I confess that at this point in Dr. Gordon's journal, I thought the tale was over and done with. I was wrong, for it was only the beginning. Mystery Theater will continue shortly with Act 2. Well, as I said, I thought that Dr. Gordon Rainey's story had come to an end. He had gone with his friend, Guy Peterson, to the vault where the woman he loved lay dead in her coffin, only to find her alive. And then, as he planned to run away with her, to save her from further torments at the hands of her husband, he was stopped by the appearance of that same husband, gun in hand, promising to have him and Dr. Rainey jailed.
Giles, I entreat you. Let them go. They've done no harm. On the contrary, if it hadn't been for Guy and Dr. Rainey, I'd even now be lying in my coffin, alive.
Would that you were. Damn you, woman, would that you were. Your unexpected return from the grave will lose me a fortune.
But how can my being alive cost you anything?
Lady Hastings is a widow. Lady Hastings has an income of 30,000 a year. I proposed marriage to her on Tuesday, and she accepted me.
You proposed marriage to another woman 3 days after your wife died?
Why not? I'm alive, very much alive, and to live one needs money. Why the look, Dr. Rainey?
You have more sense, it seems, than sensitivity, Sir Giles.
Insulting me will only worsen matters for you, Doctor, if that's possible. You can't be as unaware as you would like to seem that your career is ruined. A doctor, a physician, arrested for breaking and entering a mortuary, a sacred repository of the dead.
Sir Giles, you mustn't do this to Dr. Rainey. He helped me because he's my friend, a good and true friend. He was against it from the very start and would never have agreed to assist me had it not been for his deep and abiding sense of loyalty.
Oh, do stop, do, or you shall have me in tears.
Tears from a stone. A miracle.
Stone, am I? Very well, then. Stone that will crush you, dear wife. Crush you until the death you've escaped will seem a paradise to you.
Put down that gun and I'll...
But I've no intention of putting down the gun. Certainly not until the bailiff arrives and takes you into custody, to jail, where I shall see to it you rot, the two of you.
What do you mean, rot?
I mean, quite simply, that once you're put in jail, you will never leave it. You will rot there, Doctor.
You make no sense, Sir Giles. The penalty for breaking and entering...
Penalties? Who speaks of penalties?
I do. There are laws in this nation.
But only one law here, me. I am the law in the village of Buckingham. I am Buckingham.
Oh, and he is.
No, Sir Giles. You will not imprison this man for the rest of his life, nor will you imprison me.
Oh? And may I ask why not?
Because I say so. Because I tell you so. No, don't look away. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Have the courage to look into them and tell me then. Will you imprison us?
Mesmerism.
Why, such is my intention, yes.
Is your intention, Sir Giles, or was?
Well, it certainly was. I mean to say, the way you put it, most eloquently.
Good Lord. It's working. He's doing it again.
Doing what?
Shh. And you, being a man of sensitivity, my eloquence, the validity of what I say, has touched you. Is that not so? It is so, isn't it?
Yes. Seen in a different light, so to speak. Yes, it would serve no purpose to put you in jail. None really.
And so you let us go? You will let us go?
Yes, go. Get out of my sight, the two of you, and never come back.
Let us leave, Guy. Victorine, under the law, there's nothing we can do. She is his wife.
I can't leave her.
You must. The bailiff will be here any moment, and I can't dominate Sir Giles' will with mine much longer.
Victorine.
Go, my darling.
What? To leave you with him?
No, whatever happens to me will be harder to bear if you are in prison. Go, I entreat you. Go.
Second thought.
He's coming out of it. Guy, my friend, I've done all I can for you, and I'll not see my career ruined because you...
Because you're right. Goodbye, my darling, my dearest.
Goodbye.
Mesmerize me, Gordon. Do something. Do anything to relieve me of this torment.
You must control yourself.
I think of her, dream of her. She is never out of my thought, and always I am stricken with the thought that my very imaginings are as nothing to what he is really doing to her. The beatings, the starving of her, her very loneliness, the vile subjection to his passions. Oh, merciful heaven, I shall go out of my mind.
Yes, Guy, you shall. Unless you pull yourself together. Now, if you don't stop thinking of her, if you don't stop letting your fancy invent miseries, she is very likely not suffering. You will go insane. You will.
Someone at the door. Who?
Were you expecting someone?
No one. Whom would I want to see?
I'll answer. Victorine!
Save me, Gordon, save me.
Good heavens. Come in, my dear. Guy, look, it's Victorine.
Victorine? Oh. It is. My dearest,
I could bear it no more. Oh, yes. Oh, hold me in your arms. Hold me.
Oh, Victorine.
He may kill me, but I'll never go back. Never. He never loved me. And now he hates me because I keep him from marrying Lady Hastings and her fortune and makes me pay. Oh, save me from him. Never let him take me back.
Gordon, she's fainting.
Here, Victorine, some brandy. Now, lie down on the couch.
There, my love. Lie back. Relax.
Let me take over, Guy. Go and bar the door, and bar it solidly.
Bar the...
He must know she has fled, and to where she has fled, and he cannot risk her out of his sight because...
Because what? Damn it, what? Say it!
No, let me say it for him. Because once again I am near death.
No!
Yes. Unless I can find rest. Unless I can feel myself safe from him. I shall die.
You will not.
I want to die.
Now stop talking, man, for once act. Now bar that door.
Yes.
Too late.
No, I threw the bolt.
Not enough.
Open up, I say, or I'll have the door broken down.
Gordon, what shall I do?
Unless you want a smashed door with nothing gained. Open it.
Open, you hear? Open!
He'll take her back to Buckingham.
Yes, he will. She's his wife. There's nothing you can do.
Now, damn you all! At it again, are you? Stealing my wife? Taking what belongs to me? You men, take her.
No.
Over my dead body.
Take her!
No.
Enough! Oh, enough! Stand back or I'll brain you with this candlestick! All right, then! You'll be next, my friend. If you don't...
Very well. Move back. You're quite a hand with a candlestick, Dr. Rainey.
Yes.
You've laid my man out. I Trust you know what this means for you.
Perhaps you should consider what it means for you, Sir Giles.
Me, sir?
Yes, you're not in Buckingham now. You're in London.
Seeking a wife who's run from her husband to a lover.
No, sir. A woman who has come to her doctor.
What? What do you say?
Your is dangerously ill. You have only to use your eyes to see that. I, being her friend, I am sure she sought me at my residence, and, not finding me there, came here.
Adroit? Most adroit, Dr. Rainey. May I ask, then, if you've prescribed for her illness?
Not as yet, Sir Giles.
But you will.
Yes.
Not good enough, Dr. Rainey. As her husband, or lawful husband, I intend to take her back with me to Buckingham. Victorine, my darling, come with me.
No.
Oh, really, now, you've no choice.
No.
Take your hands off her.
No.
Guy, you have no recourse. In the eyes of the law, she is his wife. He wants her, and you cannot keep her from him.
Sensibly said, Doctor. Here, dear wife, good wife, faithful and loyal wife, take my hand and let me help you from off that couch. Take my hand.
Vile. You are vile. Filthy. Foul. I shall never touch you again. I'd rather burn off my hands than touch you, you evil man. I'll die rather than go back with you. Die.
Damn you, come.
No. No. No.
Gordon?
She's dead.
Oh, no.
Are you sure, Doctor? She was pronounced dead once before, you know.
There is no pulse. I can detect no vital signs. To all intents and purposes, she is dead.
You modern-day doctors, always escaping in words and phrases, to all intents and purposes, which is to say, you're not sure.
Who is sure of anything, Sir Giles? However, considering what has gone before, we will keep her here under observation for a few days.
You'll do nothing of the sort. You men, pick her up and bear her to my carriage.
No! Wait, what are you doing?
Possessing myself of my property, sir, whether it be alive or dead.
But you can't do this. You
Take
can't
her
do...
to my carriage.
Gordon!
There is nothing either of us can do. And Guy, she is dead. I'm virtually sure of that.
But if she is not...
Don't trouble yourself. Your own friend, a man you trust, Dr. Gordon Rainey, has pronounced her dead. All I intend to do is see that she is properly buried. This time, to stay properly buried.
Is she dead? You must understand, in those days, more than a century ago, one was never sure. Mystery Theater will return shortly with Act 3. Think for a moment how you would feel if you thought someone you loved might conceivably have been buried alive, and you will understand the feelings of Guy Peterson. Think again how you would feel if you were a close friend of Guy's, a physician who risks his career every time he consents to help Guy spirit his beloved from her tomb, and you will then understand why Dr. Gordon Rainey wrote in his journal,
I feel if Guy is not mad, he is close to it. He has never been a robust man, but on the contrary, something of a neurotic. So it was that I refused, and again refused when he begged.
Help me. I beg you, Gordon, help me.
That is what I am trying to do, by refusing what you ask. We were caught in the act of entering the Buckingham vault the first time. We would surely be caught a second. There can be no doubt that Sir Giles is having the place guarded.
If there's a guard, we'll get past him somehow, or knock him unconscious, or yes, you could mesmerize him as you did that dog and Sir Giles.
Guy, my dear, good friend, listen to me. First, Victorine is dead.
How can you say that? She suffers, she must suffer from some sort of malady that makes her only appear to be dead. There are such maladies.
Yes, everything you say is true, but...
You admit she could yet be alive. Buried alive in that tomb even now.
Now, stop that. Stop it! The second thing I was going to point out is that mesmerism doesn't always work. Some people, the kind of peasant type who'd likely be guarding the vault, cannot be brought under the hypnotic influence.
Yes, but...
And a third thing is this. I am a doctor. If I get caught again, Sir Giles could end my career, and all I have tried to be, all the good I can accomplish in this world, would be set at naught. I'm sorry, Guy. I cannot risk it again.
Then I must do it alone.
You will not do it alone.
You cannot stop me. No one, nothing can stop me from rescuing Victorine from that vault.
Guy, you are mad. You are thinking irrationally, acting senselessly.
That's my concern, and certainly no longer yours.
Oh, Guy.
Leave me, Gordon. I must prepare for the journey to Salisbury. Well, leave, I said.
No. I'll go with you.
You've changed your mind?
I have not. But this is a mad business, and I'm a fool to help you, but I am also your friend.
Gordon?
Yes.
The vault is guarded.
Yes. I see the man. A big brute he is.
Do you think you can mesmerize him? Bring him under, what did you call it?
Hypnotic influence? I doubt it. He's the type I told you about. All muscle and little brain. It's a dark night to make things worse. You wouldn't be able to see my eyes clearly.
Do you dare try?
Well, I have no choice. But keep this in mind, Guy.
Yes?
If I fail, as I most certainly shall, run for it. Do you understand? Don't try to fight him. Run.
Yes, whatever you say.
All right, now then. Let's step out of these bushes and walk toward him. Say and do nothing. Leave things to me. Come.
Who's there?
Oh, don't shoot, friend.
Then stand where you be. Let me have a look at you.
Of course. We mean no harm, friend. We are simply two gentlemen who got lost in these woods, and so...
Well, how come you're lost? This here is Buckingham Manor, and it's surrounded, all of it, with an iron fence.
Yes.
How come you got in?
Well, we really don't know. It's a dark night, and our eyes couldn't see much.
A likely story.
You must believe me. My sight is very poor as it is. Very poor. Look for yourself. Look into my eyes and see for yourself.
Here now, what is this? Look into your eyes. It's up to the manor house with you two. Well, your answer to Sir Giles for trespassing on his...
Guy.
That takes care of him.
You stabbed him.
Couldn't control him.
I said to run if I couldn't, but... Oh, Guy, I think you've killed him.
Quickly, into the vault.
Wait. What's happened to you? Don't you realize that you've just murdered a man and it's... Oh, you've gone mad. You have gone mad.
I am as sane as you. But mad or sane, I must get Victorine out of that vault. Now, come!
Oh, all right, but... Heaven help me, what have I got myself into now?
The pry bar. Where is it? Where?
Well, you had it.
Oh, yes. I must hurry. Hurry, she's alive in there. Her coffin alive. I must... There. Come along, Gordon. Come along.
All right.
There. There's a coffin.
Yes.
Look fast. Get the lid off.
Insane. He's gone insane.
Victorine? Can you hear me? Are you alive, my dearest? Perhaps fainted. Huh, Gordon? That's possible, isn't it? Alive, but in a faint?
Oh, Guy, my poor dear friend.
There. The lid's off, and she...
Dead. As I told you, dead.
Well, we can't be sure. You know we can't be sure.
Guy, in the name of reason...
Help me! Help me get her out of the coffin.
To what purpose?
We'll take her back with us to London and...
Take her back where?
To my place.
The first place Sir Giles will come to.
Then to yours.
Mine? Do you realize what you're asking of me?
If you're the friend you claim to be...
But what you ask is impossible. You've already made me your unwitting accomplice to murder, and now... Guy, you are out of your mind.
And you, Gordon, are no friend.
Guy, I beg you, leave her where she is. She's dead. Leave her at peace.
She is not dead, and I am taking her back to London.
If whoever may read these pages of my journal thinks me a fool, I could not agree more. But Guy was my closest friend, and what's more, was clearly deranged by the love he bore Victorine, and his horror of letting her be buried alive. So we took her body to my rooms in London. 3 days she lay on the couch in my sitting room, Guy never leaving her side night or day. But on the 3rd day I knew something must be done to end this madness of his.
Look at her. There's no sign, not one, of decomposition.
Yes, because it is the middle of winter and we've kept the windows open and no fire in the fireplace. This sitting room of mine is a virtual ice house.
I know.
Now listen to me. What you persist in doing is not only lunacy, it is sacrilege. The dead deserve decent burial. If you love Victorine, as you say you do, let us bury her, Guy. Bury her tonight.
Where?
Then you will.
Yes. Where can we take her?
Well, I thought of that and prepared for it. A grave awaits her body in St. Pancras Cemetery. All is arranged. We can take her now under cover of night.
Then let us do it.
Good, good. Now, I've kept my carriage waiting below. Do you want to carry her, or shall I?
Let me. It will be the last time I hold her in my arms.
All right. Pick her up, Guy.
Yes. Yes. Gordon?
Oh.
Gordon, what was that?
It's nothing. Come on, let's go downstairs.
But she gave a sigh when I picked her up.
Guy.
You heard? Gordon, you heard?
Good Lord, I did. Here, move aside.
She's alive. I knew it. Alive.
Quiet, man. In heaven's name, be quiet. Victorine. Victorine, do you hear me?
Yeah.
I have taken your hand in mine. Do you feel it?
No.
Can you open your eyes? If you can, open them.
She has. Gordon, she's gazing at me.
Victorine, do you see Guy?
Yes. Farewell, my darling. Farewell.
Farewell.
I am near death.
No.
Only a spark of life remains.
No. No, she must not die. Gordon, stop her.
What are you saying?
Mesmerism. The hypnotic influence. Use it.
Are you mad? Use it? How?
Command her not to die. Command her to live.
Command her to live? Command what to live when there was scarce a breath of life in her? Her mind, her spirit, what? But I did it. May God, in his infinite mercy, forgive me. I did it. Using the powers of mesmerism, I held her eyes with mine and commanded her, forced her to live. Even though, over and over, she cried out,
I am dead. Let me go. I'm dead.
But I did not let her go, could not let her go, because, yes, I confess it, because the experiment fascinated me. I, Dr. Gordon Rainey, committed for over 5 long weeks, committed the sin, the crime, the sacrilege of holding the spirit within a dead body to this earth, even though it pleaded, entreated, begged.
Release me. Oh, release me.
In a short time, yes. But tell me first, what are you? Spirit? Soul? Mind? What?
I am dead. dead. Dead.
What's that? Someone at the door. I'll answer. You!
Found you at last, eh, you damn grave robber?
Sir Giles!
Yes, and you, Dr. Rainey, who so help me, will no longer be called doctor when I'm through with you.
No, Giles, no.
Oh, what's this? She lives?
No, Sir Giles.
But she speaks. I heard her speak. Here, let me see for myself.
Stay away from her. Don't you touch her.
Get out of my way, you...
Don't touch her, I said! Don't touch her! Oh. You shot him. You killed Guy.
Before he stabbed me to death, as he stabbed my servant. Self-defense, sir. And now enough of this. I came for my wife's body, but it appears I shall be taking her wife back to Buckingham Manor with me. Rouse her. Rouse her at once.
I cannot, Sir Giles. She is dead. Has been dead for more than 6 weeks.
I heard her speak.
Yes. But it was her soul, her spirit, I don't know what, but not her body. Her body is dead.
Yes, dead. I beg you don't hold me any longer. Guy is here. Let me go to him. I say to you that I am dead. Let me go.
She comes with me.
No. She goes where she should have gone long since now, had it not been for me. Victorine, I release you. Go, and in the sanctity of death, join the lover you never had in life.
What's happening? Her body, it's disintegrating before my eyes, rotting, moldering. Horrible! Horrible!
I'll be back shortly with a final thought. The Premature Burial is only one tale by the master Edgar Allan Poe that I've had the pleasure of bringing you. We now owe, and generations to come will owe, so much to his imagination, his vibrant fancy. But it might be nice to think of him now and then, and let his name pass through your thoughts, as it does through mine, and to wish him well, wherever he may be. Our cast included Keir DeLay, Paul Hecht, Guy Sorrell, and Marion Seldes. Associate Director, Marlon Swing. This is Hyman Brown, Producer Director, inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, then, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. Welcome to Mystery Theater. I am Hyman Brown. Someone said to me the other day, you know, Hy, you talk a lot about imagination. At first I thought he might be right, but the more I thought about it, the more it seemed to me he was wrong. Far as I can see, there isn't a more powerful force in the world than imagination. After all, I made a career of mine with radio dramas, imagining all sorts of characters for the stories I bring you. And you must derive pleasure from your imagination. You become the hero or the heroine in the stories, as now each woman will become Dora, and each man Charles Daring, caught up in circumstances which, well, listen.
The clock. The clock.
What, Dora? What?
Oh, that clock, Charlie. It's going to drive me up the wall.
Oh, come on now. It's only a clock. Grandfather clock.
It never stops, day and night. It goes on and on like his heart. He said, your Uncle Jonah said that its beat was like his own heart. Steady, solid, never stopping. Charlie, we've got to get out of here. We've got to leave this awful place.
I know, but where can we go, Dora? Where? We're trapped.
Our mystery drama, The Telltale Heart, was especially adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Fred Gwynne. I'll be back shortly with Act One. As you know, I've always had an intense interest in diaries, the day-to-day journals of those who for one reason or another recorded the events of their daily lives. This tale I bring you now is remarkable not only for the horror it records, but also because it was written by a patient in a state asylum for the criminally insane, a man named Charles Daring, who on a day not long ago wrote,
True. I am nervous. I've always been nervous, but why do they say I am mad? My sick nerves had sharpened my senses, not destroyed them or dulled them. Why, take my sense of hearing. Acute. My ears have always been sharp. So, nervous, yes. Mad, no. Judge for yourself. Listen to how calmly I can tell you the whole story of what happened, beginning with the day I arrived at Uncle Jonas's farm with my dear wife, Dora, and my daughter, Ruth. Well, we're here. I didn't think the old bus would make it.
Charlie, are you all right?
Yeah.
You're trembling.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Take one of your pills anyway.
I'm okay. I said, Dora, I'm okay. I'm sorry. Guess I am a bit keyed up. Long, tiring trip. Near 14 hours. Worrying the car was going to break down, but I'm all right now. We're here.
Looks lonely, Daddy. Real lonely.
Oh, Ruthie. It's a roof over our heads till things get better.
Hello there! Hello! Here at last, I see. I thought you'd never get here. Of course, you're little Charlie Daring, my nephew. All grown up now, though, huh?
Hello, Uncle Jonas. Gosh, it's good to see you.
And this beautiful young woman is your wife, Dora, huh? And this charming little girl, your daughter, Ruth.
That's right.
Well, come on in. Our place is, might run down, I'm afraid, but, well, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be, and being way out here in what's practically wilderness, it's hard to get help.
Well, you'll have me now, Uncle Jonas.
Yeah. Only, are you up to working, Charlie? You said in your letter you were sick. Reason you lost your job in the city and couldn't find another.
Oh, well, now, about that...
Oh, don't be embarrassed, boy. Out with it. Just tell me the truth of it. No. Better still. You tell me, Dora.
Charlie isn't really sick. I mean, physically. He's as strong as any other man, and he's healthy, too. Only, it's his nerves, that's all.
That's all? Well, that's a lot, ain't it?
Well, no, not really. It's just that now and then he gets these terrible headaches that kind of knock him out, and he starts trembling and sweating, and kind of a cold sweat.
Well, now, this sounds real bad.
No, it isn't, Uncle Jonas. Honest. These attacks, they don't happen all the time. Not much, only now and then. And I've got these pills the doctor gave me, and, well, listen, you'll see. I'm going to earn our keep here, Uncle Jonas. Make you glad you took us in when we needed a roof over our heads. I'm a hard worker, Uncle Jonas. A real hard worker.
Well, sure you are, Charlie. And I'm sure Dora is, too.
Oh, yes.
And little Ruth. She looks like a good, strong girl for her age. And how old are you, Ruthie?
9, sir.
9 years old. My gracious, would you believe I'm 60 years older than you? Know what I've got it in mind for you to do?
No, sir.
Something you like. Feeding the chickens. Now, won't that be fun?
Oh, yes, sir.
Of course it will. And milking the cows. Well, I guess you'll have to learn how to do that, but old Uncle Jonas will show you. Oh, then there's the horses. Jake and Jenny use them for plowing, you know. You'll want to take care of them, feed them, clean their stalls, change their hay.
Excuse me, Uncle Jonas.
Yes, Charlie, yes?
Ruth is a healthy girl, all right, strong for her age and all, but, well, all those chores, I think they might be just a bit too much for her.
Oh, no, not at all. Do her good, Charlie. Make a woman of her.
Well, look, suppose I milk the cows.
But you'll be out in the fields by that time, plowing, seeding, cultivating, getting the crops in and all like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I see.
Dora will be so busy in the house, you know, cooking, washing, housework and such. Well, she won't have time for that, so... Oh, no, I got it all figured out, Charlie. You just leave it to me. Well, say now, the way you look, maybe you didn't mean it when you said you meant to work for your keep. Now, time for bed, so I better show you to your room.
Bed? But the sun's only just gone down behind the mountain.
Yeah, that's right. It gets dark fast this time of year. See, Charlie, I don't like to waste kerosene keeping lamps going all night.
But, Uncle Jonas...
We get up with the chickens, we go to bed with the chickens, Dora.
I was only going to say that we haven't eaten anything since noontime.
Oh, hungry, are you?
Well, yes.
Oh, well, let's see what I can scare up in the kitchen. Not much right now, I'm afraid. An old man like me don't eat very much. Kind of get out of the habit.
Charles, what have we got ourselves into?
Sounds like he means to work us hard.
To death, more like it. Charlie, I don't like your uncle. He scares me.
Dora was right. As always, Uncle Jonas did mean to work us to death, or at least until we dropped, and always laughing jovially, joking that city life had weakened us, and farm work would soon make us strong. Well, as day went into week, we grew more and more exhausted from overwork and hungrier from lack of enough food. One morning in the kitchen...
Charlie, you're back from the fields early.
Early? It's nearly 12, and I've been plowing and seeding since before dawn. I'm bushed. Got a cup of coffee?
I'll see if there's any left in the pot. He only lets me make one pot for the day, you know.
I know. Where's Ruth?
She was lying down. She came in from cleaning the horse stall, said she felt faint. She went to lie down, but
But what?
He sent her out again. Said there was nothing wrong with her. Said she was faking.
I've got to do something about all this. It can't go on.
What can you do? We're broke. We're penniless. Miles from nowhere with a broken-down car. We're trapped.
If I could only fix that carburetor. But I need a new part, a butterfly valve.
Oh, forget it. We haven't got a chance.
Maybe we have. The game warden.
Game warden? Here. That's what's left of the coffee.
Fella named Carrington. Harrington. Something like that. He came by the other day. All the way from Pomfret. Stopped to talk for just a minute. Said he makes it out this way about once a month or so, and if he could get that part for me in Pomfret.
Well, now, what's this? In the kitchen instead of in the fields, drinking coffee at this hour, Charlie?
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Jonas, but I just had to have something to keep me going.
Sorry? Oh, nothing to be sorry about, Charlie. If you're tired out, you're tired out. Nerves, huh?
No. Nerves okay.
Can't be. Got to be your nerves. Can't be the work. You're not doing that much.
Jonas, this past week I plowed nearly 20 acres and seeded more than 5.
Why, my lord, Charlie, in my prime, I used to do that in 3 days. Now, I'll tell you, Charlie, I wanted you to get started on the lower field this afternoon, but if you're all tuckered out, you can't pull your weight around here.
No, Jonas, I can do it. I can do it.
I don't want to force you to something, Charlie.
I can do it, Jonas.
Well, that's good. Good. Now, you go on out and work that field till 1 o'clock, and then we'll all sit down and have a good midday feed.
Yeah, sure, Jonas. Sure.
A good midday feed? Is that what you said, Uncle Jonas?
When are you gonna stop calling me Uncle? Makes me feel old for a pretty young heifer like you to call me Uncle. Much too old.
Oh, please. If you don't mind.
Now, what have I done? I just put my hands on your shoulders when where I'd really like to put them.
Don't you ever do that again.
Well, now, if I'd known you were going to take it like that, I wouldn't have. And I won't, Dora. Never again. Never again, that is, until you ask me.
You're upset. You're all upset. Tell me what happened after I left. Tell me.
Charlie, please. I've got to get supper on the table. What there is of it.
Something happened between you and Jonas. What was it?
Charlie, it was nothing.
What was it?
He tried to get fresh.
What do you mean, get fresh?
Charlie.
I want to know.
It isn't anything much. He just put his hands on my shoulder.
And?
Well, he sort of let his hand slip. Charlie, that was all. Believe me, that was all. I told him never to do anything like that again, and he won't. Charlie, believe me, he won't.
Oh, he won't. I'll see to that. Where is he?
Charlie.
Where is he?
Charlie, I think he's in that room he keeps closed, the one he uses for an office. Where are you going?
To have a talk with Uncle Jonas.
Charlie, wait. He's ordered us never to set foot in that room.
I want a word with you, Jonas.
Having another attack of nerves, Charlie? Must be. Can't imagine you busting in here otherwise.
You know why I'm here, and it isn't my nerves.
Well, then what is it? What is it, Charlie?
That clock.
Charlie.
That clock, the way it ticks.
Oh, yeah. Everybody notices that. Everybody's ever been in this room, that is. It's more like a heartbeat, they say, huh? Strong, solid, full of life. Like my heartbeat. But that isn't what you come to talk about.
You insulted my wife today.
Insulted?
You made advances, put your hands on her.
And that was an insult?
What do you call it?
Well, a compliment to her beauty, her female attraction.
You dirty-minded, hypocritical old...
Charlie!
Dora, what? Ruthie. And for a reason I didn't understand then, as I looked at Dora holding Ruth, my dead daughter, in her arms, I was aware only of the ticking of the clock.
Trapped? Oh, yes, surely. That's the word for Charles Daring, who accepted the help of Uncle Jonas, his offer to come and live on his isolated farm, only to find that his farm is a prison. Charles's diary continues, and we'll read it together when Mystery Theater returns with Act 2. Dead. Only a word with little significance, really, unless spoken for the first time about someone you love. He is dead. She is dead. Then it hits you, the full impact of the word's terrible meaning. What do you do in that awful moment? How do you react? Some burst into tears. Others are numbed into a silence. Whatever the emotion, it is deep and very personal, as was Charles Daring's, perhaps even a curious reaction, born of his nervous condition, for he writes in the diary,
And for a reason I didn't understand then, as I looked at Dora holding Ruth, my dead daughter, in her arms, I was aware only of the ticking of the clock. That huge grandfather clock in the room my uncle called his office. It grew louder and louder, filling, saturating the room with its beat. The beat that my uncle said was like the beat of his heart. Slow, steady, solid. And then, through the beating, as if from far off, I heard Dora's voice.
Dead. She's dead, Charlie. Our little girl. No,
Dora, you're mistaken. Here, let me take her in my arms. Ruthie. This is Daddy. Can you hear me, dear? Ruthie.
Kid's dead. Anybody can see that.
Shh, no, can't be.
Charlie, dear. Give her to me. Let me take her.
Yes. Put her on the bed in our room. Let her rest. Let her... Let her rest.
Come on now, Charlie. You can't go to pieces. Gotta act like a man. Got to face up to...
Leave him alone.
What? What's that?
You've killed his daughter. Isn't that enough for one day? Leave him alone.
The grave's filled in at last. We better get back to the house. This wind cuts to the bone. Oh, the cow's due for milking, too. I guess you or Dora have to do that from now on. So, I might as well get started.
Not before I say a few words. Over Ruthie.
What? Oh, go ahead. Then you can get to the milking.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness. What? Dora, wake up.
I'm not asleep.
Listen.
It's only the storm, dear.
No, not the storm. Listen.
To what, dear?
The clock. The grandfather clock in Jonas's office.
I don't hear it. I never have, Charlie.
I hear it.
You can't. His office is downstairs at the other end of the house. He keeps the door closed. You're imagining.
No, I can hear it. My ears, you know how sensitive they are.
Darling, try to sleep.
Can't. Keep thinking of Ruthie. Our little Ruthie lying out there alone in the ground. The rain beating down, the cold rain.
Try not. Try not.
And the clock beating like his heart, beating. While hers lies still. Will never beat again. I can't bear it.
Charlie. Darling, I'll get you a pill for your nerves.
Don't leave me, don't.
The bottle's down in the kitchen. Only a minute. I'll be right back. Only a minute. Oh.
Oh, I startled you, girl.
Well, I didn't expect to find you in the kitchen this late.
A glass of warm milk to help me sleep. There's a little left if you'd like some.
No, I just came down to get Charlie's pills.
Oh, I'm glad you did. Yeah. Long time since I've seen a woman in her nightgown.
I thought the bottle was here on this shelf.
You might as well stop looking for them pills.
What do you mean?
I threw them away.
Charlie's pills?
He don't need them. He only thinks he does.
Are you out of your mind? They're all that keep him from going completely to pieces.
No, don't believe it. A lot of nonsense. Doctor's nonsense.
You didn't throw them away. Where are they?
No, I threw them away, all right.
Then you must want him to break down completely. That's it, isn't it? I've known all along what you were up to, but I wouldn't admit it to myself. Now I know.
Oh, then you tell me.
Stay away from me. Don't you touch me, I swear. If you do, I'll tell all I know.
Huh? Tell who? Who's there to tell?
Get your hands off.
Tell who? Huh? Tell who? Only one around, Charlie.
I'll get to town. Somehow I'll get to town. I'll tell the police. You meant to kill Charlie. Work, starve him to death, so you could be alone with me. Have me.
Like I've got you.
You filthy, rotten swine! Oh! Swine! Filthy beast!
Stop him! He's killing me!
Charlie!
I'll
Charlie,
kill him.
no!
I'll kill him!
Charlie! No!
If you ever put your dirty hands on my wife again, I'll kill you. There was no sleep for us that night, Dora and me. And by the time dawn showed beyond the mountains, we'd come to a decision. Too late to save our beloved daughter, but in time to save ourselves. If I could somehow manage to fix the car. So, after the usual skimpy breakfast, a piece of unbuttered bread and a cup of weak coffee.
What's all this? Charlie, what you up to?
Getting Dora and me out of here, that's what I'm up to.
Oh, now, come on. Hold on, Charlie. Hold on. Let's talk this over.
There's nothing to talk over.
I don't think I knew what I was doing, Charlie. I really don't think so.
Well, you did it, and it wasn't the first time.
I know.
Starving us to death, working us to death. You killed Ruthie, you did.
No. Charlie, you got to forgive me for what I've done without meaning to.
You work us and starve us.
I thought it was best for you. But I was wrong. And I admit it. And I ask you to forgive me.
Well,
Don't, Charlie. Don't do it.
Oh, now, Dora!
Charlie! Don't you see what he's up to? If we leave, and we're leaving, he loses whatever work he can get out of you before you drop in your tracks. And he loses me.
Now, girl, daughter...
Don't you daughter me. Any woman could see through the likes of you. You'll kill him. That's why you threw away the pills he needs. And then you'll have me all to yourself. All alone. Out here in this forsaken wilderness. To do whatever you want with. Charlie, get that car running. If it's at all possible, get that car running. How far have we come, Charlie?
Only 6, near 7 miles.
That leaves about 25 to Pomfret.
If we get over this mountain. Dora,
What?
I keep wondering, when we get to Pomfret, what'll we do? I mean, where will we stay? How will we eat?
We can stay in the car for a day or two if we have to. And my suitcase is full of food.
Full of...
I took every scrap of food I could lay my hands on.
Good for you. Oh, no.
What? Charlie, what?
We're cooked, honey. Just plain cooked.
What?
The butterfly valve. I knew it wouldn't last the trip.
But you fixed it once.
Yeah, and for the last time. It can't be fixed again. Now what do we do? Now what do we do?
We start walking.
25 miles through the mountains. 25 miles.
We can't go back.
We got to, honey. I'm in no condition to make it 25 miles to Pomfret.
You are. You can. You've got to. If we go back, it's death for you. And for me. We can't go back.
Who's there? Who's there?
We come back.
I figured you would. In fact, I knew you would.
How did you know? How could you be so sure?
What else could you do once you run out of gas?
It wasn't that. I filled the tank from those cans in the barn.
And I emptied it, Charlie.
You.
Left just enough for you to get maybe 10 miles. I noticed you had a busted gas gauge, so you'd never know.
You are the most...
Now, I did it for your own good.
You lying.
What would you have done when you got to Pomfret? Charlie, why do you always stare at that clock?
The ticking, it hurts my ears, my hearing, awful sensitive. Painful.
Listen, I'm sorry about what happened before you left. We're going to change all that. We're going to be friends. Try to be, anyhow. Here, let's have a drink on it. A toast to the future. Our future together. For you, my dear. And Charlie, a glass for you. Although, maybe before you drink it, but now, only if you won't mind, Charlie. You won't, will you?
Mind what, Uncle Jonas?
Milking the cows, feeding the chickens before night comes on.
No, I don't mind.
And now, daughter, a toast to us and our future together.
An evil old man, a ruthless old man, and unhappily a victorious old man. But what lies ahead now for Dora and Charles Daring? I know because I read Charles's diary. You will know shortly when Mystery Theater returns with Act 3. One wonders at times on the nature of evil. What is it in all of us that on one occasion or another will make us do wrong when we know that it is wrong? St. Paul said, "The good I would do, I do not, and the evil I would not, I do." Our author, Edgar Allan Poe, said simply, "We are perverse." However it may be, there can be no question that Uncle Jonas is evil.
I know he means to kill me through overwork and little food, and then do with Dora what he desires. But what can I do? We're trapped here on this isolated farm in the wilderness, cut off from any possible help, prisoners in the hands of this evil old man who... A car. Coming down the road, a car. A car. The game warden. I forgot the game warden. Hi there! Hi! Wait up! Wait up!
Sure. Well, hello. Daring, isn't it?
Yeah. We met once, months ago. Remember? I was plowing the fields and you came by and...
Sure, I remember.
Listen, I need help. Will you help me?
Well, if I can.
We tried to get away from here, my wife and I, but our car broke down.
Oh, is that your car, half blocking the road 6 miles or so back?
Yeah. Carburetor went sour. I tried to fix it, but it didn't hold up.
Well, there's not much I can do. I'm no mechanic.
No, but you could pick up a carburetor for me in Pomfret, couldn't you? The next time you come out this way...
Yeah, sure. I could do that, but... Well, you'll have a long wait. I don't come out this way more than once every other month, thereabouts.
Oh, that's okay. I can wait, but will you do it?
Sure, glad to.
Charlie?
Yeah?
He wants to see you. Your uncle.
All right. Coming.
That your wife?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder you want to get away from here. If I had a wife as pretty as yours, I wouldn't want her around that dirty old man either. Come in. Well, where you been? I told Dora I wanted to see you 10 minutes ago.
I was working in the barn.
Working? You working? Look at me, damn it. Not at that clock. You're always looking at that clock. Look at me when I talk to you.
Yeah.
I got to thinking. It's a waste of time, you tripsing back and forth from the fields to the house, from the barn to the house. So, from here on, I've decided you'll live in the barn.
What? You can't do this. Dora and me can't live in the...
I didn't say Dora. I said you.
Me in the barn. And Dora here?
That's right.
Dora alone in this house? With you? Never.
Now, you listen to me.
Never. You think I don't know what you're up to? Dora's told me everything. How you've been after her, forcing yourself on her. And if you think if you're alone in the house with her alone at night, you can get what you're after. Never.
Oh, yes. You fool. Don't you think I planned this from the beginning? From the day I got your sniveling letter begging me to take you in? And the day I laid eyes on her for the first time, I knew. I knew then that it was a good plan, and I'd go through with it.
You...
A simple plan, too. So simple it couldn't go wrong. Starve you, weaken you, work you into your grave.
The way you worked Ruthie into hers...
No, the child didn't matter one way or the other. It was you.
Didn't matter.
What?
My little girl, my Ruthie, didn't matter.
What? Here now. Wait a minute, child. Hey. Oh, my throat. You're choking me. You can't.
What? Something, there's something. The clock. Stopped. Strange. Why so suddenly stopped? His heart, he said it was like the beating of his heart. It stopped. Would that mean... on the floor. Jonas, on the floor. Oh, my God. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I killed him. In my rage, I killed him. I am a murderer. I realized that I must do something to hide the body. But what? What? Where to hide it? If I tried to get out of the house into the barn, Dora might see me doing it. A chance I couldn't take. If I dragged it down the cellar, there was the risk she'd hear me. Where could I hide? And then my eyes, as they had so often done before, my eyes went to the clock. The clock that had stopped the very instant his heart stopped. A big clock, 6 feet tall and 2 feet wide. Was it possible that I might... If I could stand him up in that space, the clock hiding him, for a time, only for a time, to let me think what I might do afterwards. Yes, that is what I did. And just in time, I just stood his body against the wall and pushed the clock back into place, hiding it when...
Yes?
Mrs. Daring, of course.
Yes.
I'm Game Warden Carrington. I'd like to talk to your husband.
Oh, well, he's with his uncle just now. Could you wait?
Well, I'm afraid not. I want to get back to Pomfret before nightfall.
Uh-huh. Is it important?
It is to your husband.
Well, Uncle Jonas gets angry when... Well, follow me.
Thank you.
What is it?
I'm sorry to interrupt. The game warden's here. He says he's got to see Charles. Got to see him right away.
Oh, hello, Warden.
See about that carburetor, Daring.
Oh?
Look, I don't like talking to you. You peering through a door open a crack. Could I come in?
No. Uncle Jonas doesn't allow anyone...
No, that's all right. Come in.
Where's Uncle Jonas?
He went down to the barn. Be back in a little while.
Oh. Well, I'll leave you and the warden together.
Sit down, Warden.
Oh, no. This'll just take a minute, and I'm in a hurry. I got to thinking about that carburetor.
Carburetor. Yes. Carburetor.
There's a good mechanic in Pomfret, Hutchinson. He could maybe rebuild it for you, save you some money.
Oh. Well.
You all right, Daring?
Yes. Only.
Well, what is it? Why do you keep looking at that clock?
It isn't going.
Of course it isn't. Well, you can see that. The pendulum has stopped.
Yes. And yet... about the carburetor.
Well, I was going to suggest, but I want your permission first, suggest I take the carburetor out of the car on my way back to Pomfret, you know?
Yes, do that.
Well, the trouble is, I haven't got the tools.
Tools?
Yes. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
I've got a couple of screwdrivers, but no wrench and no pliers, so I wondered if you might have what I need.
Yes, I...
Well, if you could let me have them, I'll stop by the car, get the carburetor out, and take it to Hutchinson and Pomfret. He'll have plenty of time to work on it, because I won't be coming back this way for another... Daring, what is it?
You think you're clever, don't you, Warden?
Well, that's a funny thing to say. Nothing clever about taking a carburetor out of a car.
I don't mean that. You know I don't mean that.
Well, what do you mean?
The sound. You hear it as well as I do. You hear it.
What are you talking about?
The heartbeat. His heartbeat. It has to be that. The clock has stopped. Look. The clock has stopped, but the beat, the beat. You hear it.
I don't hear anything.
Liar. How could you not hear it? You didn't come about the carburetor. You knew I was going to do it. You saw it on my face when we talked out there today. You must have seen it. In my face. Even though I didn't know it.
Well, know what? Daring, have you gone mad? Saw what in your face? You were going to do what?
Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
Hey! What are you doing? Why are you pulling the clock away from that? Hey, look out! It's falling!
See? See?
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
Charles, dear?
You've come, Dora. Sit down, dearest, and give me a moment. I just want to adjust the escape mechanism on this clock. There.
All fixed?
All fixed. And they said it couldn't be done.
If it can be done, you're the man to do it. Dr. Leonardo says you're a genius when it comes to fixing clocks. Goodness, you fixed just about every one in this whole...
In the asylum. I know what it is, Dora, dear. I just don't know why I'm here.
No matter, sweetheart. So long as you're happy.
Oh, very, very. And you?
I'm fine.
And Ruthie? Little Ruthie. How's she?
She couldn't be better, Charles. She sends her love.
Give mine to her. Oh, dear, dear, dear.
What, Charles?
This escape mechanism, still not working the way it should. If you'll excuse me, Dora.
I'll be back shortly with a final thought. Well, to come full circle, you became Charles or Dora Daring, and as I pointed out earlier, you couldn't have done it without that miracle, imagination. Think, how completely did you become Charles or Dora? Did you become them, or did you only listen with your ears? If that's so, try again. Ears are not enough. Remember, this is the theater of the mind. Our cast included Fred Gwynn, Ann Shepard, and Robert Dryden. Associate Director, Marlon Swing. This is Hyman Brown, Producer Director, inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, then, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. Welcome to Mystery Theater. I am Hyman Brown. Welcome to the realm of your imagination and that of the greatest horror story writer the world has ever known, Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, I said the greatest horror story writer because, although others may have written stories equally macabre, terror-ridden, no one has written as many. And moreover, when it comes to sheer mystery, puzzlement, Poe is unsurpassed. As witness...
But, Monsieur Dupin, the door was locked from the inside. The windows were locked from the inside. The murder scene, the L'Espanaye apartment, is on the 4th floor. The murderer could not have escaped.
And yet he did, my friend.
But how?
Oh, come, Pierre, you know as well as I do how.
I know.
You do. Your trouble is, you don't know you know.
Riddles, Monsieur Dupin. You speak in riddles.
Not at all, my friend. You create riddles where riddles do not exist.
Our mystery drama, The Murders in the Rue Morgue, was adapted especially for the Mystery Theater from the Edgar Allan Poe classic by George Lothar and stars Paul Hecht. I'll be back shortly with Act One. Well now, my friends, make yourselves comfortable, turn down the lights, and listen to one of the most horrifying and mystifying stories, Edgar Allan Poe's The Murders in the Rue Morgue. The year is 1840. The place, Paris, France. At about 7 o'clock in the evening, a young off-duty gendarme, Pierre Musset, and his sweetheart, Yvette, are returning to her apartment in the Rue Morgue after an evening at the Moulin Rouge.
But when, my darling, shall we be married?
Oh, just as soon as I'm promoted to gendarme first class, Yvette.
When will that be?
Oh, when indeed. My sergeant, Duchamp, is one of the most indifferent, ruthless of sergeants who takes pleasure in holding his men back, doing all he can to prevent promotion rather than... Yvette, look. There's a crowd in front of your house.
Something's wrong. Come here, quickly.
All right, let me through. I'm a gendarme. You there, what's happened?
We do not know. It happened less than a minute ago. Screams, officer. The most awful screams from Madame L'Espanaye's apartment.
Madame L'Espanaye? Her daughter Camille?
Yvette, this is you.
Oh.
Yes, Camille too. Both of them screaming so horribly in such agony. I cannot tell you.
Where is the L'Espanaye apartment? What floor?
Next to mine. 4th floor back.
Yvette, you stay here. I'll see what happened.
No, I'll come with you.
Stay here, I tell you. God knows what I'll find up there.
No, Pierre, they were my friends.
Oh, well, all right. Come on, then. Is this the apartment?
Yes.
Oh, all is quiet. Too quiet. The door is locked.
Break it in.
All right. So, now let's have a look.
Pierre.
Oh, my God. Yvette.
No. I won't faint. I'll be all right. But, oh, heaven help us. What has happened here?
Look, the woman on the floor. Her throat cut. Is that Madame L'Espanaye?
Yes.
But her daughter, Camille, where is she?
The bathroom door. It's closed. Perhaps...
I'll go and see. No, it's empty.
The kitchen, then. It's the only other room.
No, there's no one in the kitchen.
But where can she be? The door was bolted on the inside.
The windows.
They're closed.
Yes, but... this one's locked. Look, it's nailed shut. You see the nail?
The window next to it is nailed shut, too. And anyhow, it's a sheer 4-story fall to the yard below. Camille couldn't have left that way. Oh, Pierre!
Be calm, Yvette. We must both be calm.
In the face of this? Oh, poor Madame. Her throat cut.
Look here. This is strange. A bag of gold pieces. Napoleons strewed all over the floor.
Oh, perhaps the murderer heard us coming and hurried to make his escape before...
What escape? How could he escape? The door is bolted on the inside. The 2 windows, the only windows in this apartment, nailed shut. How could he leave? How could Camille leave?
Impossible. It's just impossible.
It makes no sense. Here, give me a hand. Get this poor old lady off the floor onto the bed.
Yes.
You take her by the feet. I'll lift her by the shoulders. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Now, lift.
Oh, good Lord. Pierre.
Her head. It fell off. Don't faint, Yvette. Don't faint.
Oh, no.
Look, I must get a message to headquarters at once. You take it while I remain here and... Wait.
What, Pierre?
The fireplace.
See there? A lot of soot has been dislodged, fallen down from inside the chimney.
What would that mean?
There's only one way to find out, and that is to get down on my hands and knees and look up into the chimney.
What is it?
I am looking into a woman's face. A dead woman's face.
Her face?
It must be Camille. She's been stuffed up the chimney, head down.
Pierre?
What?
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm going to faint. Jules? Another glass of wine?
I'll tell you, Yvette, after what happened next door to you last night, I could use another bottle of wine.
You sailors, all alike. You can never get enough of wine.
Oh, love, come here to me.
Jules, not now. I'm engaged.
Yeah, to a gendarme. And second class yet.
He'll be a gendarme first class someday. Yes, and a sergeant someday, too. Jules, let me go. I must answer the door. Pierre, darling, I wasn't expecting you.
Yes, so I see.
Oh, don't get any ideas, Pierre. This is Jules Dubourg. He's a sailor on sick leave. Jules, this is Pierre Musset, my fiancé.
Hello.
How long have you two known each other without my knowing?
A few days. Jules only came to live here a few days ago.
Live here?
He has 2 rooms in the basement, and he is quite sick.
Something I picked up on my last voyage in Borneo.
Borneo, eh?
Jules had been all around the world, and more than once.
Thank you for the wine, Yvette. It has warmed my stomach. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
I hope that is all you warmed? His stomach?
Pierre, what a thing to say. You have no cause to be jealous.
I better not have. I have enough troubles as it is.
Tell me, my darling, what happened when you talked to Sergeant Duchamp?
Exactly what I expected would happen. I said, Sergeant Duchamp, I would like to be assigned to this case, to the murders that happened in the Rue Morgue.
And what did he say?
He said, You solve a mystery like that one? You leave such things to your betters in the detective bureau.
Of course you stood up to him.
Oh, yes, I'm not afraid of him. Not like the others. I argued with him. I explained that I am in love with the most beautiful girl in the world, and that I cannot wait to make her my wife. But I cannot make her my wife until I am promoted to gendarme first class, and one way to get promoted to gendarme first class would be for me to solve the murders in the Rue Morgue.
And what did he say to that?
He laughed. You are a nut, he said. You are as much of a nut as C. Auguste Dupin.
C. Auguste?
Dupin.
Who is this Monsieur Dupin?
The fellow who solved the Marie Roget case. He is not a policeman. He's only a private citizen with a gift for solving mysteries that others can't solve.
Oh.
Anyhow, that's what I think, even if everybody else at headquarters doesn't.
But if he solved the Marie Roget case...
They say it was an accident. That case. It was as much of a mystifying puzzle, an unsolvable riddle as this one. And he explained it so simply, you wouldn't believe it.
He'll never be able to explain what happened in the L'Espanaye place next door last night. No one could.
You may be right. Especially now that we know there were 2 murderers, not 1.
2 murderers?
Then you don't know?
No.
Yvette, I talked last night with some people in the crowd downstairs. They said that while Madame and her daughter were screaming, they heard the voices of 2 men yelling and cursing at them. 1 murderer or 2. How did they get out of that apartment?
Perhaps your friend, Monsieur Dupin, could tell you. Go to him. Ask for his help.
You forget. My sergeant has ordered me to leave everything to the detective bureau.
You forget that unless you are promoted to gendarme first class, we cannot marry.
One day I shall become
One day? What one day? When? Jules Dubourg would marry me like that.
That sailor, that sick sailor, you would marry him?
It would be better than not marrying you.
Oh, Yvette, please.
You do as I say. Pierre, either you go, or here, take back your ring.
Keep the ring. I'll go.
Pierre? Pierre?
Yvette! What are you doing here in Montmartre?
I had to see you. This couldn't wait. Pierre, I found this shoved under the door of my apartment.
Huh. Looks like a note.
It is a note. Read it.
Be warned. Tell your boyfriend to forget about the Rue Morgue murders, or you will die the way Madame L'Espanaye did. Yvette.
I thought you had better see this and take it to Monsieur Dupin at once. He will know what to do.
Yes. Yes, he would.
Then take it to him as soon as you are off duty. And Pierre,
Yes.
you did go to see Monsieur Dupin, didn't you?
Well, no.
Pierre.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. I didn't have the nerve. But now that your life is threatened, I'll go to see him and ask his help. I promise you, Yvette. I promise.
Yes?
Monsieur Dupin. C. Auguste Dupin.
Yes?
I am Pierre Mousset. Gendarme, second class, Pierre Mousset.
Ah, yes. You wish my help in solving the murders in the Rue Morgue, is it not so?
You know why I'm here?
Of course.
But how?
Oh, you were the first policeman to reach the scene of the crime. You are a second-class gendarme, and helping to solve the murders would result in a promotion. And inasmuch as you yearn to marry a very beautiful young woman named Yvette...
That's amazing. That you should know all this without our ever having met? Amazing.
It's anything but amazing, my friend. It's simplicity itself. Everything I've just told you was fully reported in the newspapers.
Oh.
Now then, won't you come in?
And so what was to Pierre an amazing deduction turns out to be no deduction at all. Nor does Pierre Auguste Dupin turn out to be the formidable man he thought him to be. As to whether Dupin can bring our two lovers happily together in marriage by solving the apparently insoluble mystery of the murders in the Rue Morgue, we shall see when Mystery Theater returns shortly with Act Two. Well then, Gendarme Second Class Pierre Mousset has sought the help of Pierre Dupin in solving the murders in the Rue Morgue. Murders so baffling that any chance of solving the mystery seems impossible. Still in all, as you know, Dupin solved a mystery equally as puzzling, that of Marie Rouget. So, let's join Pierre now as he sits across from Monsieur Dupin in the latter's modest apartment.
My dear fellow, I've little, if any, interest in solving crimes. I wish only to be left alone to read my books and pursue one or two hobbies. And after all, crime is the business of the police.
I know. Well, thank you for seeing me, at least. I'm sorry to have taken your time. Good day, Monsieur Dupin.
Good day. No. Wait.
Monsieur?
I'm a fool, but I'm also French. I have no interest at all in solving crimes, but, let me face it, I cannot remain untouched by the plight of young lovers.
Then you will help me
If you solve this mystery, or more precisely, if I solve it for you and let you take the credit, then assuredly you will be raised to gendarme first class and able to marry your beloved Yvette. Now, can you gain access to the L'Espanaye apartment?
Of course.
Well, in that case, my dear fellow, let us go at once to the Rue Morgue. The door is unlocked here?
Yes. As you can see, Monsieur Dupin, it was bolted on the inside when I broke the door in.
The bolt was torn out of the wood.
Small wonder. You're a big fellow. Ah, there. That large blood stain on the rug.
That's where she lay, Madame L'Espanaye, with her head cut off.
Now, the bag of gold pieces...
It lay right here, on the rug. The gold pieces were strewn all over the floor. I keep asking myself, why didn't the two murderers take the gold? But there is no answer.
Because you're asking yourself the wrong question.
The wrong question?
Well, the answer to why they didn't take the gold is simple. They didn't want it. The question you should be asking is, why didn't they want it?
Oh, yes. Yes, I see.
Now, this is the fireplace where you found the body of the daughter, Camille?
Yes. Stuffed up the chimney, feet first, the head down. Again, I keep asking, how powerful must these men have been to be able to do it? To stuff a body up a chimney with such force that... Well, I don't know how many bones were broken.
My friend, you have a positive genius for asking the wrong questions. Again, it's not how they do it, but why did they do it? What reason would they have for doing it?
Oh, I can't answer that. Maybe there was no reason.
There's always a reason, Pierre. Now, what else was there? Ah, yes, the windows. You say these are the only two windows in the apartment?
The only two.
None in the bathroom,
No.
in the kitchen?
None.
And these appear to be kept locked with a nail in each. And let's see. I pull the nail out of this one and open the window.
Well, the murderers couldn't have escaped this way. Even if the windows had been open, it's a sheer drop. 4 stories to the ground.
So I see. I also see a drain pipe.
But if the windows were locked...
They could not have been locked.
But they were.
Oh, my friend, God also gave you a brain. As with your eyes, use it. You know the murderers did not escape by way of the door. It was bolted on the inside and you broke it in.
True enough.
They could not have escaped by way of the chimney. It follows that they had to escape via the windows, using the drain pipe to reach the ground.
But I tell you, the windows were locked, just as they are locked now, each with a long nail. All the windows in this house are the same. A hole is bored through the window and into the sill. To lock the window, you push a nail through it into the sill. Well, you just pull that nail out of this one.
But not the other. You do that, my friend. You pull the nail out of the second window.
What for?
To answer the question of how the murderers escaped. Now do as I say. Pull it out.
What in the world
You
is...
see?
A broken nail. As simple as that. A broken nail.
Ah, but it's not simple.
The window only appeared to be locked.
Well, I've seen enough. Let's go.
You have the answer then, Monsieur Dupin?
Part of the answer. Only part, but give me time to think and...
Look who's coming up the stairs.
Hello, Pierre.
What are you doing up here? Why don't you stay in your cellar, Jules?
That is not your business.
Yvette is my business, and you are up here to see her.
What if I am?
I want you to stay away from her. Yvette is my fiancée.
Take a reef in your sail, Pierre. You don't own her.
Now, you listen to me.
You take your hands off me. Take them off, or
Gentlemen.
What is all this? What's going on here?
I want Jules Dubourg to stay away from you, and you from him.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do, Yvette. You are my fiancée.
But not your wife. And even if I were, I have a right to see anyone I please.
Not while you are engaged to me.
Oh, is that so? Well, let me tell you something. I will see anyone I wish, whenever I wish.
Now, mademoiselle, you don't mean that. You're speaking out of anger.
Who are you? And what right have you to interfere?
My name is Dupin. Auguste Dupin.
Monsieur Dupin? Pierre, you went to him.
He did indeed, mademoiselle, and believe me, your fiancé is not only a man of determination, but brilliance, mademoiselle.
Brilliance?
Well, my dear fellow, the way you solved the puzzle of that locked window, brilliant, positively brilliant. You'll be in the detective bureau before you know it.
Oh, Pierre. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Jules, I think it would be better if you do not come to see me anymore.
But Yvette...
Please, Jules, no more.
Have it your way. There are other ports of call.
Oh, so there, Monsieur. Monsieur Dupin, can I offer you a glass of wine?
Thank you, but another time. You could tell me what perfume that is you're wearing?
Nuit de Passion.
Passionate night. It's well named, mademoiselle. A pleasure meeting you, mademoiselle. Pierre, if you would see me down to the street.
Oh, of course.
But come back, Pierre. If you are off duty, that is.
I am off duty, Yvette, and I shall be back.
This fellow, Pierre, this Gilles de Bourg, he's a sailor, isn't he?
Yes.
What's he doing here? Why isn't he at sea?
I don't know. He's ill. Some sort of rare tropical disease he picked up in Borneo.
In Borneo? Interesting.
What's so interesting about it?
You know, my friend, I told your fiancée you were brilliant enough to be a detective.
Oh, I appreciate that, Monsieur Dupin. You did me such a favor, building me up in her eyes.
Oh, but it's true, you know. You could be a detective. You've only to learn how to use your head and all your senses.
My senses?
All 5 of them. You see, everyone's senses, taste, smell, sight, sound, touch, all these tell things, but few people listen. For example, I noticed the scent of your fiancée's perfume. Have you?
Well, I've always known she smelled exciting.
But beyond that, you did not go. Now, you ask me why the fact that our sailor man, Gilles Dubourg, contracted a disease in Borneo is interesting to me.
Yes, I do.
But you've no need to ask. It's as I said before. You know, but you don't know you know. Very well, then. I'll give you a lesson. Your first lesson in how to be a detective. Now, first, look. Then, see what you look at. Then, put 2 and 2 together and make sure they add up to 4. Now, for instance, put Gilles Dubourg together with drain pipes and see where it leads you.
Jules and drain pipes? I don't understand.
You will. You will if only you think, my friend. Think.
Pierre. You must go now. It's 3 in the morning.
Oh, let me stay a little while longer. Just a little while.
No, my darling. I must go to work in the morning. Oh, I need my sleep. And I'm certainly not getting any with you.
Must be that perfume you wear.
Oh, my perfume, not me.
Oh, of course it's you.
Well, whether my perfume or me, off with you.
All right. All right.
When will you be seeing Monsieur Dupin again?
Oh, I don't know. He said he wanted time to think, that he would leave a message for me at headquarters. But, you know, Yvette, I'm beginning to wonder if I need Dupin. If there was any need to go to him in the first place.
What do you mean?
Well, after all, I solved the mystery of how the murderers escaped. One of those 2 windows wasn't locked at all. The nail was broken.
Brilliant. The murderers must have got to the ground by the drain pipe.
The drain pipe. Oh, yes, the drain pipe.
But even so, I've been thinking. No ordinary man could manage to slide down a drain pipe. He would have to be very strong. Yes, and agile. But you've thought of that, I'm sure.
Oh, of course. Well, it's only a question of what kind of man would that be?
Oh, I could think of any number.
You can?
But of course. A chimney sweep for one, a house painter for another, a circus performer.
Huh?
You know, an aerial artiste, a sailor like Jules de Bourg, say. They are used to climbing things.
Yes. Yes, that is a possibility. Jules Dubourg, a definite possibility.
Now, you let jealousy blind you. Jules is a sick man, for one thing, and doesn't have the strength, anywhere near the strength, to do what was done in that apartment. Whoever committed those horrible murders was more than strong. He was powerful, unbelievably powerful. Oh, but come now, you must go. You must.
I'm going. Lock yourself in.
Don't worry, I will. I'm not taking any chances, not after getting that note.
Yvette, you have nothing to fear. Dupin and I are working on this case, and trust us to solve it in short order.
I do trust you, my darling. Oh, I do. Good night, my sweet. Good night.
Good night. Good night, my lovely wife-to-be.
Good night.
Bolt the door.
I was about to. There. It's bolted. Good night, Pierre.
Yvette! Oh, my God! Yvette! It's bolted on the inside.
Oh, Pierre! Help me! Oh!
Yvette!
Help me!
Yvette!
The horror that struck Madame de Frenay and her daughter now strikes Yvette, and once again Pierre faces the barrier of the door bolted on the inside. You, like me, can imagine the terror the young policeman faces as he steps back before flinging all his weight at that locked door, wondering what frightful sight will greet his gaze when he breaks it down. Mystery Theater will return shortly for Act 3. What frightful monster haunts the Rue Morgue? What kind of fiend committed the butcheries on Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter Camille? These are the questions young gendarme Pierre Mousset is seeking to answer. Now it seems he's about to find the answers in the most horrible way imaginable, for behind the bolted door of her apartment in the Rue Morgue, his fiancée Yvette is herself in the grip of the fiend.
Oh, Lord, help me! It's dark. The lamp. Where's the lamp? What? Here. Wait, you. What happened? Oh, my stomach. Yvette, where's that lamp? Light the lamp. There. Yvette. Heaven help us all. Yvette!
My friend, compose yourself.
Monsieur Dupin.
There now, softly. Now, tell me all about it.
Well, as I said, I broke the door in. It was dark, but I could make out a shape. It was a huge, a monstrous man against the moonlit window. I saw him only for a second because he flung himself at me with such speed, with such amazing speed. He took me off balance. He struck me. A powerful blow in the stomach. Oh, heaven, I'm not yet recovered from it.
Some wine, perhaps?
No, thanks. Let me go on. Now, as I went down, I grabbed at him, and here, look, I must have grabbed him by the hair on his head because I pulled these hairs out.
Black. Coarse.
And then I think I don't know, I lit a lamp. Yes, and I saw Yvette. Oh, my poor Yvette. Blood streaming down her cheek. Bruises already beginning to blacken her face.
You took her to the hospital,
Yes.
You said?
Yes, I did.
What is her condition?
Well, it's not fatal, thank God. Not even very serious. Badly bruised, cut over her right eye, but she's going to be all right. The monster failed to make good his threat to kill her.
We may indeed thank God for that.
Yes. Well, at least we know more than we did before, Monsieur Dupin. We know that the murderer is a big man, a huge man of unbelievable strength, and that he has black hair.
We know a great deal more than that, Pierre.
We do?
Well, I do, and so do you. Only, as I've said before, you don't know you know.
Oh, Monsieur. Monsieur, I do not have your brilliant brain. Well, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you can solve this awful mystery, that you can save Yvette. The murderer failed this time, but he'll try again.
Well, it's my hope that he will, yes.
Your hope? Surely you, as much as I, want to save Yvette's life.
Well, of a certainty, my friend. But I'm afraid I can save it only by risking it.
Yvette, you're sure you're comfortable on the couch?
Yes, Pierre, thank you.
Mademoiselle, are you strong enough to help me in a plan I have in mind?
Now, wait, what kind of a plan?
A plan to trap the murderer.
And I can help you trap him?
You can be the bait.
No, just hold on a moment.
Yeah, let me explain.
There is nothing to explain. Now, whatever you have in mind, I refuse to let Yvette risk her life.
Nonsense, Pierre. My life is in danger anyway.
Precisely. The killer will strike again, but not for the reason you think.
What do you mean? In that note he sent Yvette, he swore he would kill her if I did not stop trying to unmask him.
But that is not the reason Yvette was attacked. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, she was not deliberately attacked at all.
How can you say such a thing? Look at the bruises on her face, her arms, the gash over her eye.
Use your ears, my friend, no more than your eyes. I did not say Yvette was not attacked. I said she was not deliberately attacked. Nor was she attacked by the person who wrote the note.
Monsieur Dupin, you amaze me. How do you know all this?
Because 2 + 2 = 4 if you put them together properly. I'll help you by showing you the facts once again, but you must add them up. First, we know that the killer entered the L'Espanaye apartment by the window and left by the window because it was not locked, though it appeared to be.
The nail was broken, yes.
As you discovered, Pierre.
Yes.
Quite so. Now, this apartment is next door to the L'Espanaye apartment. Outside that window, it's a 4-story drop to the backyard unless the murderer, escaping, slid down the drain pipe attached to the wall between these apartments. You follow?
Yes.
A sailor, Monsieur Dupin, a sailor maybe, like Jules Dubourg.
There you go again, letting your jealousy...
No, mademoiselle, he's altogether right. A sailor could climb the drain pipe. So much for that fact. Now, here's another and a most revealing one. Why was the bag of gold pieces, worth, as we have learned, more than $4,000, why was that bag of gold not taken?
Perhaps the murderer was in such a hurry to escape
But there was no hurry. The door was bolted. There was plenty of time to escape.
You said the gold wasn't taken because it wasn't wanted. But what were the L'Espanays killed for, if not the money? Revenge?
It couldn't be that. They stayed to themselves. They knew no one.
Well, if not for money or revenge, what then?
Nothing. The L'Espanaye murders were senseless.
But that is impossible. The murderer must have killed for a reason.
No, he did not. And why do you keep saying murderer when there were 2? You're forgetting one of the most important facts of all. The fact that 2 voices were heard in the L'Espanaye apartment. One was definitely that of a Frenchman, but the other... you shall see tonight, if mademoiselle will indeed act as the bait.
Of course. What do you want me to do?
Do not lock your windows, and do not bolt your doors. That is all.
That is enough.
Now be calm, my friend. Your fiancée will not be alone. We shall be with her, both of us armed with pistols. Oh, and one thing more, mademoiselle.
Monsieur?
That perfume of yours, Passionate Night, and be sure to use it. Use a lot of it.
If you say so, yes. But why?
The murderer, I think, finds it enticing. If it comes to that, so do I.
2:00. No sign yet of the murderer.
He'll come, of that I'm sure. Especially since Mademoiselle did indeed use a sufficiency of her passionate night perfume. It makes waiting a pleasure, Mademoiselle.
Thank you, Monsieur Dupin.
It won't make Yvette's death a pleasure.
She will not be harmed, I promise you. I have a pistol, and so have you. I'll be sure to use it when I give the word. And, Pierre...
Yes?
Shoot to kill.
Depend on it. I shall certainly...
Listen. Come back. Come back, I tell you. Let me get to the window. Yes, it's coming. It's climbing the drain pipe.
It?
Damn you, come back. And someone climbing the pipe behind it, trying to reach it, trying to stop it.
You keep saying it. What do you mean, it?
You'll see in a moment. Get back, well back. You, Mademoiselle, you stay there. Pierre?
Yes?
The instant it appears in the window, I'll give the order to shoot. Remember, shoot to kill.
Don't worry about that.
Now, shoot! It's still alive. Shoot again. Light the lamps while I get to the window and... Dubourg! Jules Dubourg, come up. Don't try to escape.
Dubourg, I was right. It is Jules Dubourg.
Who else, my friend? He's the only sailor living in this arrondissement. Come in, Dubourg, come in.
Please, it was not my fault. It was not my fault.
I'm well aware of that. You've nothing to fear, although you thought you had.
On the floor. My God, what is it?
It's the Russian, the German, the Italian, the foreign voice that was no language at all. I'm not as familiar as I might be with the ape family, Dubourg. What is it? Gorilla? A baboon? What?
An orangutan.
Oh, what?
An orangutan. A large ape found in the jungles of Borneo.
And this is the monster that killed Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter?
Yes. And heaven help me, I am responsible. There was nothing I could do, monsieur. Nothing.
Well, you could have notified the police. You should have. They would have handled matters for you with dispatch. But you didn't do that because you still hoped to sell the ape, didn't you?
Can you blame me? I'm a poor man and sick. I need money. I brought the orangutan back from Borneo in the hope of selling it. I paid to have the ship's gardener build a special box with air holes to hold it. Paid money I could ill afford. And God help me, when I engaged those rooms in the cellar, I should have kept it in the box. But I felt sorry for it. It looked so human. It was so human that I let it out and kept it in one of the rooms.
How did this beast come to kill Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter?
It escaped from the room I kept it in. I wasn't there when it happened. I discovered it when I came home that night. I opened the door, and I could not believe it. The ape was seated in front of a mirror, shaving himself with my straight razor.
Shaving himself?
Well, trying to. They are great imitators, you know. I went to take the razor from him. I was not afraid of him. He was really harmless. But he ran from me, out through the door, and into the backyard.
You chased him?
Of course. I was afraid he might cut himself with the razor. Well, his eye caught the window of the Espanaye apartment because the light was on. Up the drain pipe he went, and I after him. He tore the window open and went in, and the screaming began.
You wrote that note to Yvette, didn't you? That note that threatened her life?
Yes, but only to frighten you of the case. I was afraid if you found out what had happened, I would be sent to the guillotine.
I believe you. But why did you let the ape attack Yvette?
I didn't. I couldn't control it. And it was drawn to her by that perfume she wears.
My perfume?
That time, when we were kissing and holding each other close, the ape smelled her perfume on me.
What?
I brought the scent of your perfume back to my cellar rooms. It was on my clothes. The ape couldn't get enough of smelling my jacket. He liked the perfume, enjoyed it. And so, when he escaped last night and tonight, he followed the scent here. But he didn't mean to harm you any more than he meant to harm the Espanays. It was your screams and theirs that frightened him and made him do the horrible things he did.
Jules Dubourg, I hereby place you under arrest as the party responsible for the murders in the Rue Morgue. We will go at once to headquarters. Come along. Oh, and, Yvette.
Yes, Chérie?
After Dubourg has been booked, I shall return, and we will discuss the kissing and the holding each other close that left such a strong smell of passionate night on his jacket. All right, you Dubourg. Get along.
He's very angry with you, your fiancé.
He will cool off.
You will have, no doubt, a satisfactory explanation for him?
No. But there are other ways, Monsieur Dupin. There are other ways.
There are indeed, mademoiselle. There are indeed.
I'll be back shortly with a final thought. I cannot close without an expression of gratitude to Edgar Allan Poe, a sensitive man whose life was an almost incessant and unrelenting torment. Such torture for him that he sought relief in alcohol and drugs. Yet he gave the world immeasurable pleasure with his stories of the macabre, the horrible, the arcane. He may even have given to the world the inspiration for one of the greatest fictional detectives literature has ever known, Sherlock Holmes. Our cast included Paul Hecht, Guy Sorel, Corinne Orr, and Dan Ackoff. Associate Director, Marlon Swing. This is Hyman Brown, inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, then, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. Welcome to Mystery Theater. I am Hyman Brown. Torture is my subject this time around. Oh, don't be alarmed. I have no intention of shocking you with unmentionable horrors. For you see, there are all sorts of torments invented by man to bedevil his fellow man. And perhaps the most subtle of these is man's fear of the unknown. We are so constructed, it seems to me, that we can almost always cope with the known, whatever it may be. But when we don't know what lies ahead, what nameless nightmare may await, let's illustrate with Todd Stearns and his wife, Tammy.
Todd, what if you told them what they want to know?
It could mean the end of this country, Tammy. It could mean the end of the world.
The world?
The world.
Mr. X mentioned torture, didn't he?
Yes.
Will you be able to stand it?
I think so. Once I know what it is. But Mr. X is clever. He won't tell me. He knows that not knowing, that's the worst torture of all.
Our mystery drama, The Pit and the Pendulum, was especially adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Tony Roberts and Marion Seldes. I'll be back shortly with Act One. It's nothing new to say that men and women, too, have successfully endured the worst of physical pain one can imagine. But mental pain, I'm told, is something else again. Those skilled in the art of extracting information well know that physical force will often succeed, but mental force will always succeed. So, why not employ it at once, then? Because it requires great skill, exquisite subtlety, and is in consequence far more difficult to use. Be all this as it may, such thoughts had little if any interest for Todd and Tammy Stearns as they drove in an official government limousine toward the airport of a large city.
You really shouldn't have come to see me off this time, Tammy.
Break my record. I've gone to the airport with you every time you've made one of your mysterious, deep, dark, secret trips. Ever since we were married 4 years ago.
Yeah, but with Jill down with a cold...
Well, Anna could certainly take care of her for an hour or two. Todd?
Yes?
You're going to be all right, aren't you?
What makes you ask a silly question like that?
It isn't silly, and you know it. These trips you make abroad every now and then. Well, I don't know what they're all about. I've never known.
Because I've never told you, and I never will. The less you know, the better off you'll be.
Well, I'm not asking you to tell me. I know you won't. But it's not knowing that makes me bite my nails till you come safely back home.
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but that's funny.
What?
I don't think we're not. Driver? Driver, why did you take the left turn? You're heading away from the airport, not toward it.
Good heavens, Todd, we are at that.
Driver? Driver, answer me. Why?
Todd, look. The glass panel's sliding up.
What the devil is this? Driver, what in blazes is going on?
He's just not paying attention. He's not even turning around.
I don't understand this. Driver! Damn it!
He's stopping for a red light, Todd. Let's get out.
And fast. It's locked. Both doors are locked, and I can't open them.
Todd, what does this mean?
I don't like to think what it means, Tammy. But I sure wish you hadn't come along this time.
Oh, come in, Mr. Stearns, come in. Sit down, Mr. Stearns. Make yourself comfortable.
What have you done with my wife?
Oh, she's safe and comfortable. There's nothing for you to worry about, I assure you. Would you care for a drink?
As a matter of fact, I could use one. If it isn't drugged.
Drugged? That's a fanciful idea.
It's no more fanciful than kidnapping me. Who are you? What's this all about?
As to who I am, you can call me Mr. X.
Oh, Mr. X. Come on, you can't be for real. How corny can you get?
It's corny, I admit, but it's also safer. Infinitely safer than any name I might use. You see, X is an unknown quantity. As for what this is all about, your drink.
Thanks. What is this all about?
Oh, come now, Mr. Stearns. Todd, if I may. You know what it's about.
I'm afraid not.
You're lying, of course, but... Well, no sense wasting valuable time fencing with each other, so I'll tell you. I represent a group that's in the business of selling top-secret information of one country to another. You're in the business of conveying top-secret information from this country to another. The reason you were kidnapped and brought here was because we want the top secret you were presently on your way to deliver to... Well, you know where.
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
Now, let's not fence, please. I know that you are on your way abroad with the formula for a new bacterial gas, which would easily tip the balance of power in favor of the country possessing it.
Oh, and my government is willing to hand over a weapon as vital and deadly as this to another government?
It is, and you know why. The pact between the two governments, to keep each other informed and thus, hopefully, to maintain the balance of power.
You know, you've been seeing too many James Bond movies.
Now stop it, Todd. I want the formula, and I mean to have it.
Well, you won't get it from me because I haven't got it. As I guess you know, your musclemen searched me thoroughly and found nothing.
I didn't expect they would. I'd have been very surprised, indeed shocked, if you'd been carrying such a formula worth untold millions on your person instead of in your head. Todd, I'm authorized to offer you $50,000 for the formula.
For a formula you've just told me can be sold for untold millions?
All right. How much do you want?
It's an academic question, Mr. X, since I don't have the formula.
Would you consider 100,000?
I haven't got the formula you're talking about.
This is a tape recorder. I'm going to leave you here alone for 15 minutes. When I return, I hope you will have been sensible enough to record the formula for me.
Look, I assure you...
Help yourself to the liquor. And, of course, you won't try to escape. As you see, there are no windows and only one door. And please, no more nonsense about your not having the formula. You have it, Todd. You have it as surely as we have your wife. Mrs. Stearns, I see you've been made comfortable.
What have you done with my husband? Where is he?
Now, there's no need to distress yourself, Mrs. Stearns. Tammy, if I may. Todd is presently as safe and as comfortable as you are. Oh, I see that you're drinking tea. Would you like another cup?
What is all this? Why were we brought here? Please,
calm
explain...
yourself, I beg you. You're in no danger.
My husband?
Nor is he. He's perfectly safe and unharmed at the moment.
At the moment? What do you mean by that?
Well, nothing more nor less than what I said. Tell me, how much do you know about Todd's affairs?
His affairs?
His work, his career, the duties he performs for our government.
Nothing. Except he's an undersecretary. Well, in some department or other. I don't even know that.
That seems rather hard to believe. Married 4 years and you don't even know what department he works for?
No.
You never bothered to ask?
Well, yes.
And?
Todd made plain to me he wouldn't tell me and that I was not to ask.
You love Todd, of course.
Of course.
How much do you love him?
I love him. I can't say more than that.
I think you can. I think you can say a good deal more than that. For instance, do you love him enough to suffer pain for him, a great deal of pain?
How would I know how much pain I could stand until I was standing it?
Yeah, you have a point. It'd be interesting, though, wouldn't it, to find out how much you do love Todd, how much pain you could endure.
I don't know why you're threatening me.
Threatening you, Tammy? No, not at all. Our discussion is purely theoretical, at least at this time.
At least at this time. For the present. Well, you're threatening me even now. You're torturing at me by hinting at... I don't know what.
Well, let's hope there'll be no need for you to find out. Come in now, Miss C. Thank you. Stay here with her. You know what to do with her if I send the signal.
Do what? What are you going to do to me if he sends a signal? Well, answer me. Please. Please answer me. What?
The tape is blank, Todd. You recorded nothing.
There's nothing to record.
Nothing.
If there is a formula such as you speak of, I've never heard of it. Now, why don't you just knock off this nonsense and let me and my wife get out of here?
Simply because there is a formula and you carry it in your head and you are going to dictate it into this machine before I'm through with you. And your wife.
Tammy has nothing to do with this.
Hasn't she?
She has only the vaguest idea of what I do at the department, if she has any idea at all. Even if I had memorized a formula, which I haven't, I'd never have told her about it.
And why not?
Why not?
Because your work is precisely what I say it is? Top secret, high security?
No.
Then why wouldn't you tell her? You love her, don't you?
Of course.
Then surely you trust her.
Certainly I trust her.
But not enough to let her know what you do? Oh, you underrate her, Todd. You really do. That woman would do anything for you. Suffer untold pain for you.
What do you mean by that? suffer untold pain for me.
Well, nothing really. She told me she would, that's all. Or what amounted to the same thing. It just happened to come up in our talk together.
When did you talk?
Only a few moments ago. I went to see her when I left you. Had a very nice chat with her, very interesting and informative chat.
About how much pain she could stand?
Well, that was only a small part of what we talked about.
Now listen to me. She knows nothing.
Of course she doesn't. How could she? There's nothing to know, you say.
You harm her, and I warn you, Mr. X, or whatever you are. I warn you.
Todd, stop acting like a fool. Now, you know that you're helpless, and so is she. You also know that in one way or another you're going to give me that formula, so why not give it to me and save us all a lot of trouble, all three of us?
Three of us?
You, me, and Tammy. Now, here's the tape recorder. Begin. Very well. Come along with me, Todd.
Where to?
The cellar. There's something there I want to show you. Something I'm sure will change your mind. Here we are.
So, here we are.
Tell me what you see.
It's a room. Not a very big room. With aluminum walls. They look like aluminum anyway.
What else?
There's a hole. Big wide hole in the floor.
What else?
Nothing that I can see.
Look up. What do you see now?
Hanging. From the ceiling. It's about a foot from the ceiling.
A what, Todd?
Looks like a headsman's axe. An oversized headsman's axe.
With a very sharp cutting edge. Razor sharp. Note how the light gleams off it. And now there's something more for you to see.
Tammy!
No. You stay here. She stays there, on the other side of the room.
Tammy, are you all right?
Yes, darling. Are you?
Sure.
No, Todd. 2 questions. Have you ever heard of a torture called the Pendulum?
Yes.
And another called the Pit?
Is that the hole in the floor? A wide hole?
The Pit, yes. You have heard of it. You're not going to be sick, are you?
No.
Todd, don't make me subject you to the Pendulum. Especially don't make me subject you to the exquisite torment of the Pit. Above all, don't make me subject Tammy to either.
No, not Tammy.
That depends on you. Now, the formula, Todd. Will you give it to me? Or will you not?
If you were Todd Stearns, what would you do? Oh, come. If you have the imagination I think you have, you are Todd Stearns or Tammy Stearns. What would be your answer? What would you do? Think about it until Mystery Theater returns with Act 2. In a room, a rather curious room, in the basement of an isolated country house, Todd and Tammy Stearns face a torture known as the Pit and the Pendulum. Face it, but need not undergo it, if Todd would only tell Mr. X what he wants to know. Reveal the formula he carries in his head for a new weapon of destruction, a bacterial gas. As Todd gazes across the yawning pit with his lovely wife on the other side, Mr. X repeats.
Once again, Todd, I know it's a difficult decision, but it is one that you must make. Will you give me the formula or not?
I told you I don't have
That's enough. You have the formula. You memorized it. I know that. So no more time-wasting nonsense. Which is it to be? Will you give me the formula without forcing me to torture it out of you, or must I use force?
I have nothing to tell you.
Perhaps if I explain how the pendulum works.
No need for that. I know.
But does Tammy know? Do you, Tammy?
No.
Tammy, look up toward the ceiling. That is a blade, you see, a blade shaped like a big headsman's axe, and it's razor sharp.
Don't listen to him, Tammy. He's trying to frighten you.
Exactly what I'm trying to do, Tammy, for reasons that are quite obvious, I should think. Wouldn't you?
Yes.
Now, that large razor-sharp blade, Tammy, is attached to a pendulum that swings back and forth and gets an inch lower on each swing.
An inch lower on each swing?
Yes. And so anyone strapped to that slab on the floor, look down now, Tammy, to the floor. You see the slab with the straps?
Yes.
Anyone strapped to that slab will, in time, be cut in half.
Tammy, don't listen.
Slowly. Cut in half slowly, Tammy.
You wouldn't. But you wouldn't, you please. You can't, you won't kill him.
Todd? Oh, gracious, no. He has what I want. I can't kill him unless we reach that perfectly wasteful moment when I have no option but to end this whole scene in death. No thought of killing him. You.
Oh, my God.
Tammy, did you hear me?
I heard you.
Then, my dear, would you try to do what I have failed to do? Convince your husband to give me the formula. Tammy.
How can I convince him if you couldn't?
Todd, have you no imagination whatever? Do you really think that you'll be able to watch Tammy killed before your eyes without breaking? No answer? Your silence could signify several possibilities. One, you're too shocked at the prospect to answer. Two, you could watch while your wife is slowly cut in half, in agony, Todd. Three, you couldn't. Now which, Todd? Possibly even you don't know at this moment. Well, all right, I'll give you time to think it over, to talk it over, both of you. Miss Z, you know where to take Mrs. Stearns. Mr. Stearns and I will join you there shortly.
Todd, I love you.
And I love you, Tammy. I love you.
You love her. We'll see how much very soon now. Very soon.
Tammy, glass of champagne.
No, it would sicken me.
Me too. It just isn't a dinner they've spread before us. It's a gourmet's dream.
Or the condemned's last meal.
Yeah. Darling, we've got to talk this out.
What is there to talk out? You've told me that the secret, the formula that you memorized, if it got into the wrong hands, it could mean the death of millions. And if you give it to Mr. X, it will certainly be in the wrong hands.
I don't know.
Well, what do you mean? The group he represents, they'd sell the formula to the highest bidder. They wouldn't care who, just so that they got their millions.
Well, maybe for once, just for once, I've got to think of us, not the world.
But we are the world.
I know that, too. You're involved now. This character X could torture me to death, and... well, I don't think I'd break. I don't think I would, but... you can't tell till you're going through it. I've known agents who... well, never mind. To face torture myself alone, that's one thing. But to watch you face it... Tammy, I couldn't bear that. Why are you looking at me like that?
You're going to have to bear it, Todd. You can't risk the lives of millions for one person, no matter how much you love her.
But that's the point I wanted to make. If I give X the formula...
Todd, you're not going to.
It doesn't mean that whoever buys it will use it to control the world. It could simply mean they would have a balance of power with us.
Instead of the government, whichever it is, you won't tell me, that already has a pact with us?
Sweetheart, I am just a courier. I'm not up there with the brass. A pact, well, it's supposed to mean what you think it means, but well, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I think all it means is that both countries have the same amount of clout and can't rip each other off. How do we get into this?
Because this is what it's all about.
No. What it's all about is you. You getting tortured is what it's about. Tammy, X is going to make me watch you on that slab as the pendulum comes closer, inch by inch. Darling, I won't be able to bear it.
I think you will. I know you will.
You're a lot surer than I am.
Oh, dear, what a pity. The champagne, the food, you've touched nothing.
Who is he?
Oh, a little quirk of mine. He fits in, don't you think? The black suit, the red hood with slits for eyes. Just right for an executioner.
Just right to scare the daylights out of your victims.
Exactly. Tammy, are you scared?
You better know it.
But you needn't be, you know. Not if you have succeeded where I failed. What is Todd's answer now?
You better ask Todd that.
Todd?
No. My answer is still no.
What point in it to undergo agony only to give in finally?
If one gives in.
You think you won't?
But you seem to forget. Todd's the one who has to give in. I don't have the formula, if there is one.
Think now, Tammy, think. You're lying strapped to that slab beneath the pendulum. You cannot move. Scarcely a muscle moves. You're looking up, staring at that great blade. It begins to move, back and forth, swinging and coming lower with each swing. Suddenly, time has sped by unaccountably. Suddenly, there it is, the blade, within inches of you now, within an inch, cutting through your dress, delicately cutting. And now, on the next swing, it is going to slice.
Stop it! Tammy, I can't let you do this.
I didn't think that you could. Bring the tape recorder.
Don't bother.
No?
Tammy!
Todd, this man is a phony. I'll stake my life on it. You're trying to scare Todd into giving you the secret formula. But if your scare fizzles...
I won't go through with this thing. I won't,
Well, I don't think you will.
Well, in that case, finish your champagne, and we'll proceed. Todd, one final chance.
Mr. X, it's senseless.
Makes plenty of sense to me. It would if I were in your shoes. That woman, that lovely, exceptional woman you were lucky enough to marry, lies strapped to the slab. When I give the nod to our red-hooded executioner, he'll press the button that starts the pendulum. Once started, it can't be stopped.
Can't?
No. It goes right on, down, and through. Should you change your mind, it had better not be at the last moment. It had better be in time for the executioner to pull her out from under the blade.
Tammy!
Don't give in, Todd. Don't.
You leave me no choice. I must...
Do it. Damn it. Damn you. Go on and do it.
Very well. I give the nod. It's begun its swing. You see it, Tom? Back and forth. Back and forth. An inch lower with each swing. Here.
That's the microphone to the tape recorder.
Take it. Use it. Tell the formula.
What is he saying to you? What is that he just handed you? A microphone?
Yes. It's the mic of the tape recorder.
Oh, Todd, don't.
You'll die if I don't.
Then I'll die. I'd rather die. Me than a whole world.
I can't let you. I can't let you.
If you can't let her speak, you've got the mic in your hand. Start talking.
No. What's left if I do? What's left?
What?
She loves me. If I let her down, if I save her life and lose a million others, she'll hate me. What'll be left to me then?
There are other women.
You filthy, There are no other women. There's only Tammy. For me. Oh, my dearest, you are right. We've got to go through with this. For them.
I've met fools in my time, but you... It's within inches, 3 at most from her body. Now 2. 1. Cutting her dress now. You see? And the next cut. Talk, you damn fool, talk, fast!
The bacterial equation.
It's no!
What is it? The equation before it's too late. What?
What indeed? A man and a woman, just another man and a woman like you, like me, stand ready to sacrifice or not sacrifice their own lives for others. Certainly the woman does. The man, I don't know. We'll see when Mystery Theater returns with Act 3. I've said that there are all sorts of torture, limitless degrees of mental and physical torment, and of these, mental anguish is worst of all. There are some who can stand physical pain better than mental, and vice versa. Moments ago, we wondered, would Todd Stearns break under the strain of watching the torment of his wife, Tammy? Would Tammy? Well, let's find out.
Todd. What? You fainted.
Fainted? Tammy. I remember now. The pendulum. Blade descending closer and closer, cutting through a dress. Is she
what?
Dead! Damn you, is she dead?
The tape recorder is right there in front of you. Dictate the formula.
Answer me. Is Tammy dead?
Dictate the formula.
No.
You will, if you want the answer to whether your wife is dead or alive.
Oh, no. If she's dead, then at least she's safe from you.
Ah, but if she's alive... I see it in your eyes, the agony of not knowing. Dictate.
No.
You got more guts than I thought.
Oh, no. I'm as much a coward as the next man. But you made a mistake when you left Tammy and me alone together for those few hours.
Oh?
It's a funny thing, but I don't know why. Maybe it was just facing our last hours on Earth together, but we really got to know each other for the first time in our 4 years of marriage.
I made a mistake?
You made a mistake. You're licked. Dead or alive, Tammy licked you, and dead or alive, I won't let her down.
I see. Excuse me. Bring her in.
Tammy. Oh, Tammy, thank God you're alive.
Oh, darling,
Are you all right? You aren't harmed. You're all
no,
right.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
No, you're not. Your hands. I can feel your hands. They're shaking.
I'll calm down, then I'll be all right.
Not if Todd goes on refusing to give me that formula.
Then you haven't given it to him.
No.
Oh, I'm so glad, darling. I'm so glad.
Your happiness is doomed to a short life, because I assure you Todd is going to do what I ask.
No, not Todd.
Oh, yes. Let me say that I admire you, both of you. And you have every reason to be proud of this man you married.
Well, I am very.
But he is not a Superman. He has his breaking point, as all men do. I haven't succeeded in reaching that point, that's all, but... unless he dictates the formula he carries in his head, I shall take final steps to reach his breaking point, and yours, quickly. Oh, by the way, your little girl, Jill...
What about her?
I thought you'd want to know. Your housekeeper, Anna, sent for the doctor a little while ago.
Why?
Is she worse?
I don't know. All I have is the report that the doctor was sent for.
You dirty rat.
Now, slowly, Todd. Physical violence will get you nowhere.
This is part of your next torture, isn't it? making us worry about Jill's condition.
And what will become of her should the two of you meet what you possibly may meet? Death. It will leave me no choice but to subject you now to the kind of torment I tried to avoid.
Well, there can't be anything worse than the pendulum.
There's the pit. I see that you know something about it.
I don't know anything about it.
Precisely. You've heard of the pit, but it remains an unknown quantity. And it will be that, the simple fact that you don't know what awaits you in the pit, that will break you. Just as not knowing why the doctor was called for your daughter has shaken you. Now, once again, will you give me the formula? Then it's the pit, I'm afraid. Back where we started? Or no? The pendulum, you see, is again in place in the ceiling. I will leave you alone now with just the pit. Oh, and, Todd, when you decide that you can't take any more and agree to give me the formula, just say so. You'll be heard.
Oh, I hope Jill's all right.
Don't worry, she is. There's no better doctor than Dr. Lynch.
Yes, but if the cold's gone into her chest, you know, her chest is weak.
Don't worry, it's just what that louse wants. For all we know, he could be lying. Anna never sent for the doctor.
Oh, you're right. I'm doing just what X wants me to do. I'm worrying myself sick. What are you looking for?
Something to drop down the pit.
Why, what for?
Find out how deep it is. Whether the bottom is solid or filled with water. This room's as bare as a bone, though.
Here.
Oh, your shoe?
You can buy me another pair when we get out of here.
I'll buy you a dozen pair. Okay. Here it goes. Funny.
I didn't hear a sound. Not a sound.
No splash? No thud of the shoe hitting anything? Nothing? The damn thing can't be bottomless.
It's either that or awfully, awfully deep.
That's for sure. Give me your other shoe.
Try again?
Yes. The first sound could have been so slight we didn't pick it up.
Yes.
This time listen carefully. Very carefully. Ready?
Go ahead. I didn't hear a thing.
Shh. No. Nothing.
Let's stand back. I don't like being so near the edge.
I don't blame you. Thought of phoning in.
No.
Sorry.
It's all right. I feel the same way.
Let's sit down on the floor, against the wall.
All right. Yes, that's better. Todd? The wall feels warm.
It's a little too warm. Just, move away a bit. Better?
Much. Oh, I'm sure Jill's going to be all right. I'm just not going to worry about her.
No.
Todd, that wall's getting hotter.
Well, we'll have to move away from it a little more.
And closer to the pit.
Wait a minute now, you don't think... Here, let me just see how...
Todd!
Burned my hand. The wall is as hot as an oven. Move over to that one.
Well, this one's as hot as the other. It's getting hotter.
So that's it. Don't you see? The hotter the walls get, the farther we have to get from them.
And the closer to the pit, until we...
Yeah, until... Are you all right?
Oh, darling, this heat's so stifling. And we're moving closer to the pit.
Can't help it. Heat from the walls. Getting worse.
Oh, God, hold me. Put your arms around me.
Sweetheart.
I'm scared. What is down there? We go over the edge. Oh, God, it's less than 2 feet away now. When we go over, what will happen to us? What?
Death, I guess.
But how? How will we die?
Wait. Try not to move any closer. Try.
Help myself. The heat's unbearable. You're moving closer to the edge, too.
I can't help it either.
Hold me tight.
Sweetheart, this is it. I guess we... Wait a minute.
What?
The heat. It doesn't seem so hot.
Not so. I think you're right. It's cooler. Oh, the room seems cooler. Oh, let's move back.
That won't last long. That creep has got something else in store for us, but... You see? He didn't go through with it. Just as he didn't go through with the pendulum.
No, you fainted.
I don't think he would have gone through with it anyway.
Why not, Todd?
What?
Mr. X, Todd. I can see you and hear you. What's given you the sudden idea that I won't go through with things?
You want the formula?
True.
Kill me and the formula dies with me.
True.
Well...
Todd Stern's dead is worth considerable, too. Oh, not as much as the formula, but considerable.
I don't see why.
Very simple. It's worth a great deal for a certain government to prevent another from getting the formula. Keeps the balance of power unbalanced, you see. And now that we've settled that, do you still refuse to change your mind?
Yes.
Todd, I'm sorry to say that this time, I believe you.
Wait a minute. Tammy has no part in this now. You used her to break me down, you failed. What you used for her is over. Let her go.
He hasn't heard you. Or if he did, he's said his final word. And I wouldn't want out anyhow. If you die, I want to be dead too.
But it's senseless. Pointless. I'm the one who has the formula, not you. There's no point in killing you if I... What's that?
What is it?
Machinery of some kind. But I don't know what it's for. Yes, I do.
Todd, what?
The walls. Look at the walls.
They're moving. All four of them. Moving inward.
Making the room narrower. And narrower until...
There'll be no space, no floor space left.
Nothing but the pit.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
X! X, listen to me! Let Tammy go! I beg you, let her go!
The pit. The walls. Pushing us to it. Oh, let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
Tammy!
I can't bear anymore. I can't bear it.
You won't have to bear any more now, sweetheart. No more. Now.
More champagne, Tammy?
No.
Todd?
What I want is an explanation of all this, and you better make it a good one, Mr. What is your name?
X will do.
Yeah, but now we know it was all a test or a game or whatever it was.
I must still keep my cover. Look, I don't blame you for being angry. Simply put, we subjected you to a test to see how much you could take before you broke down. All operatives, couriers, are put through the ringer.
I never was before. I never even heard of it before.
Never would have if you hadn't reached that point in your career where we felt that you were ready. The formula you so painstakingly memorized, Todd, is worthless. There's no such thing as that bacterial weapon.
Oh, no.
But if there were, and you were caught by the kind of group I pretended to represent, we had to be sure that you'd never break, never reveal it.
And risk blowing my mind. Tammy's...
No. You were never in any danger of that. From start to finish, you were carefully monitored by staff psychiatrists. We'd have known instantly if you were in any serious difficulty.
Well, I guess you'll have to do it.
Yes, we do.
Tell me something. What did we fall on? I mean, when I went over, holding Tammy in my arms.
Special foam rubber. Dozens of layers of the stuff. You could have dropped an iron safe down that hole, much less Tammy's shoes, and you'd have heard nothing. Now then, it's over. You can relax and unwind. What's more, Todd, you have gained something that you didn't have before. You've learned how much you can take. And, mister, you can take it.
I learned something a lot more important than that, if you ask me.
What would that be, Todd?
I learned... Tammy, I always thought you were pretty wonderful, but you're more than that. You're the most wonderful woman and wife in the world.
I'll be back shortly with a final thought. Truth is stranger than fiction, and if you feel the story I've just brought you is one of the strangest you've ever heard, I can only assure you that even stranger things go on in this world. Although our version of The Pit and the Pendulum was only based on Edgar Allan Poe's story, it's to this great master of the bizarre that we owe our stories, shall we say, electrifying moments. I hope you were properly shocked. Our cast included Tony Roberts, Marion Seldes, and Norman Rose. Associate Director, Marlon Swing. This is Hyman Brown, Producer-Director, inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, then, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. Welcome to Mystery Theater. I am Hyman Brown. Lord Byron, if I recall, correctly first said, "Sweet is revenge. But revenge is mine, saith the Lord," according to the Bible. The truth would seem to be that sweet indeed is revenge while the moment lasts. But the victim of revenge will himself be avenged, one way or another, by a power not of this world, surely the power of God. In any case, had Arnold Montresor not avenged himself on Fortuno Bellini and enjoyed to the full that moment of sweetness, he would never have experienced the shock and terror that surged through him when Inspector Muradeau said,
"Arno, I arrest you for the murder of Fortunato Bellini."
Me? You arrest me? For murder?
Playing the innocent will do you no good, Arno. I've got you dead to rights. I have found the body.
Impossible. You couldn't. Say you...
You just slipped. How would you know it was impossible if you didn't know where the body was? But that was your second slip, Arno. A slip you wouldn't have made if you hadn't made the first.
The first?
Yes. You committed the perfect crime, my friend. Perfect except for one single, simple little mistake.
What mistake? What mistake?
Our mystery drama, The Cask of Amontillado, was adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic, especially for the Mystery Theater, by George Lothar, and stars Richard Kiley and Francis Sternhagen. I'll be back shortly with Act 1. We were talking about revenge, I believe. Yes, revenge. An emotion, a passion that came to burn fiercely in the breast of a certain wine grower named Arnold Montresor. A consuming fire he had at last managed to quench with, oddly enough, a cask, a barrel of Amontillado sherry. It all began, this strange and terrifying tale, at the famous Montresor vineyards in Tuscany, Italy. There, on a certain day, in the office of Arnold Montresor, Fortunato Bellini sealed his doom.
But I must have the 1923 vintage, Arno. No other Amontillado will do. You must manage to find more for me.
I would if I could perform miracles, but I can't. I've been in touch with every wine grower, every merchant in Spain. I've scoured all of Mantilla, where Amontillado is made. I can't find even a bottle of the 23 vintage, and you ask for barrels, casks.
Well, a bottle is only a drop to me, you know that. You wouldn't be trying to raise the price on me.
What?
Considering the money you owe me, the loans I've made you, I wouldn't be surprised if you...
Are you out of your mind, Fortunato? How could I possibly make enough money to pay you back by raising the price of the Amontillado you drink? You don't drink that much.
Which is why I have my suspicions about you, Arno.
What are you...
The catacombs beneath your vineyard. You took me down to the 3rd level not so long ago and showed me. Why, there must have been at least a half-dozen casks of Amontillado.
More than a year ago. There weren't a half-dozen, there were only 4. And you've drunk them all. If there is one bottle, one drop of 1923 Amontillado left in Spain, in the world, I can't find it for you. Now, this discussion is at an end.
Not altogether. I have another matter to take up with you. The money you me.
Well, what about it? I've been paying the interest regularly.
But I need the principal. Business has been bad, and I'm in need of money. I'm afraid, Arno, I must ask you to repay me.
Repay? Fortunato, I don't think you realize what you're asking. I'm in no position at this time to... Come in. Oh, Margarita, my dearest.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, darling. And you, Signor Bellini.
You do disturb me, Signora Montresor. Always. But not in the way you mean.
Well, what is it, Margarita?
Tonio is waiting to see you. It's urgent, he says.
What's the trouble?
Something about the dampness in the 3rd level of the catacombs. He says it's getting worse and changing the temperature.
Yes, the dampness is increasing down there. I'll talk to him in a few minutes.
Very well, darling. Good to see you, Signor Bellini.
It's more than good to see you, Signora. It is a feast to my eyes.
I can't help noticing. Good day.
She seemed offended with me, your wife.
You never took your eyes off her.
Oh, can you blame me? So young, so...
About the money I owe you, Fortunato.
1 week, Arno.
1 week?
You know our agreement. The loan's payable on demand, or...
you can sell me out, but there was never any thought of that.
There is now, I'm afraid.
But you wouldn't. You can't.
I must. I need the money.
You've got to give me more time. I'll do anything you ask. Anything within reason.
Within reason, you say, eh?
Yes. What is it?
Well, you know how I feel about your lovely wife. Just looking at her makes me feel young.
What are you saying?
Well, the thought has crossed my mind more than once, Arno, that what a pleasure it would be if she would come to dinner with me one night.
Well, yes, we'd be delighted to.
And not we, not you, her, alone.
If you mean what I think you mean, get out.
Very well. Arno.
Get out, I said.
I'm going. But remember, you have 1 week from today.
All the filthy, obscene. Yes, come in.
I just saw Signor Bellini leave. If you can see Tonio now. Arno, what is it?
Oh, nothing.
Something's happened to upset you. I can see it in your face. What is it?
Oh, Bellini, he's given me a week to repay the money I owe him, or he'll sell me out.
Oh, no.
But that's not all. What got me angered was...
Yes?
He said he'd be willing to give me an extension if you'd have dinner with him.
What you mean is if I...
Yes.
Of all the thought of it. That fat, repulsive... But, Arno, darling, what are you going to do? Can he take the vineyard if you don't pay him in a week?
The vineyard, the wine stocks in the catacombs below, the house, everything.
But we'll be ruined.
Yes, ruined.
Oh, my dearest, there must be something we can do. Something.
If you think of something, Margarita, let me know.
And when the maid said you were here to see me, I didn't believe it possible. What a pleasure, Signora Montresor. What a very real pleasure to discover I was wrong.
Why would you think my paying you a visit, Signor Bellini, an impossibility?
To be altogether honest with you, Signora... Margarita, if I may say.
Of course you may, Fortunato.
I'd always thought you didn't exactly care too much for me.
To be altogether honest with you, I don't.
Then why are you here?
If you force Arno to repay what he owes you in 1 week, he'll be ruined.
Yes?
You offered to give him an extension of time if I would have dinner with you.
Yes?
I've thought about it. Suppose I came to lunch, say. Arno and I don't see much of each other during the day, and I'm often out shopping, so there'd be no need to explain where I'd been.
Wonderful.
If you cancel Arno's debt altogether.
Cancel it?
Totally.
Oh, my dear, you are as clever as you are desirable. But I'm afraid you take me for a fool.
Why?
Forgive the debt altogether and enjoy your company only once? When by giving extensions of time, I can enjoy it many times over. What do you take me for?
An extension wouldn't help very much.
But it would help when he needs help. It's either that, Margarita, or ruin for you as well as him. Lunch, then. Say tomorrow at 1?
Tomorrow at 1.
I said, where have you been all afternoon?
No, dearest, I told you. Shopping.
What did you buy?
Nothing. I couldn't find what I wanted. A bag, a new bag to go with those shoes I bought last week, and I thought I might find a hat to go with...
You were with Bellini. Isabella told me.
Isabella?
His daughter. You know his daughter. The one he sent to visit our aunt for the afternoon. Only the aunt wasn't at home, and she came back to find you with her father. In her father's bed.
I did it for you.
Did what for me? Shame me?
No one need ever know.
I know. Me, I know. I want to die. I have died.
Arno, darling.
Darling.
Listen to me, please listen. I love you. Only you.
I don't want to hear.
Please, oh, please. Since the day of our marriage, I have watched you work yourself to the bone to keep the Montresor vineyards going, to hold on to the heritage, your heritage of more than a century. I have so admired you for what you do, so loved you for the man, the husband you are. I couldn't bear to see you ruined, and so I helped you in the only way I knew, the only way I could. Bellini is going to extend the loans another...
The devil with the loans! And Bellini and his extensions. You stand there and tell me you couldn't bear to see me ruined, and in the same breath admit you ruined me.
No!
Ruin me as a man. Ruin me as a respected member of the community. You think everyone will know about this? With Isabella and her tongue? I can hear them laughing behind my back. All of them. Laughing.
Arno, I beg you don't talk this way. Isabella won't talk. No one will ever...
They will! And I can never look at you again without knowing what you did. I could never hold you in my arms. Never sleep with you again without knowing. Adulterous!
Arno!
I could kill you for what you've done to me. Kill you!
Your hand. My throat. Arno!
Kill! What? Margarita. Is dead. Yes. And you should be for what you've done. Oh, how gentle. Sweet, how beautiful and desirable. What am I to do? What am I to do? Yes. Yes, the body must be hidden. Hidden. But how? How can I? Yes. That's it. The catacombs. Alive. He's alive.
My throat.
Must work fast. Fast.
Oh, no. What? I can see only your head and shoulders. Where am I?
Does it matter where you are?
What are you doing?
Walling you up.
Walling me?
You know the catacombs as well as I do. The outer walls have caved in places. There are openings that can be walled up. No one the wiser to what lies behind them.
Oh, no. No. No.
Another stone. 2 more. Only 2 more.
I love you. I did what I did because I love you.
And I love you.
Then why are you doing this? Pull the stones away. Tear them down.
No, I cannot. I will not. You are mine. But you became his. You love me. Then you loved him.
No!
Gave yourself to him.
For your sake.
You didn't want him.
How can you say?
Because it could be true. How do I know it isn't? How would I ever know?
Oh, my God.
I can't believe that. What I just said, I don't believe. But my mind is stained with the thought. My heart is shattered by it. You must die. My darling, you must.
If killing me, revenging yourself on me, will help you, Arno, put in the last stone. There is nothing left for me now. Nothing of me but my love for you. The last stone. Put it in place.
Yes. Yes.
I love you. I love you.
And I love you. I will always love you. you?
His heart, his soul, smashed to bits, Arnold Montresor sends his wife to her death, walling her up on the first and uppermost level of the catacombs. Oscar Wilde, our old friend, said, "Each man kills the thing he loves." All my life, I've never been able to understand what he meant by that. Perhaps I do now, and perhaps you do too. Mystery Theater will return shortly with Act Two. Murder will out, it has been said, and yet it's hard to see how the murder of Marguerite Montresor by her husband Arnold will ever be discovered, for he carefully walled her up on the top level of the catacombs beneath his vineyard. It's possible, indeed altogether likely, that had he been content with that, he would never have been found out. But a consuming passion to avenge himself on Fortunato Bellini has taken possession of him now. A passion that is to drive him into making one single, simple little mistake.
Come in, Isabella. Come in. What an unexpected pleasure. Sit down. Have a glass of wine? This Lacrim Christi is particularly good.
Thank you.
Well, now, why have you come to see me?
I'm not sure, but guilt, I suppose. Shame.
What do you mean?
The story's all over town that you and Margarita have split up, that she's left you. Is it true?
Not entirely. I've let people believe that because I don't care what they think, but you, I can tell the truth. I threw her out.
Yes, and you can tell me the truth because I'm responsible. I'm the one who came running to tell you about her being with my father.
Is that why you feel guilty? Ashamed?
If I had minded my own business, none of this would have happened. You and Margarita would still be happily together.
A false happiness built on unfaithfulness.
Perhaps, but I had no right to do what I did. It was just that I was so surprised, so shocked at finding her with my father together. I lost my head. I must apologize, beg forgiveness.
I don't know where Margarita is, and I don't want to know. Have you told your father about finding him and Margarita together?
No, I wouldn't dare. I think he would kill me, and you must never tell him either.
Don't worry. I don't intend to. Oh, another glass?
Thank you, no. I'll go now.
Well, let me see you to the door. Carnival week begins tonight. I suppose you're looking forward to it.
You know better than that, Signor Montresor.
I know.
Everyone knows that I never go to the carnival.
Well, why not?
Come on now. You know. I can never find anyone to take me, that's why. There isn't a boy in town who'd want to be seen with anyone as plain and unattractive as me.
Plain? Unattractive? Oh. Well, you shock me. I've always thought of you as, well, anything but unattractive.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, I mean it. Well, don't misunderstand me. I mean, well, I'm almost old enough to be your father, and I wouldn't want you to think... Well, what I'm saying is, if you'd be willing to go to the carnival tonight with me...
You?
So why not? I'm alone, you're alone. We could at least be alone together. Yes, and you'd have the fun of going to the carnival at last.
Oh, I don't know.
I do. I'll call for you at 10. I won't take no for an answer.
Oh, Signor Montres.
And another thing. Call me Arno. See you at 10?
Yes.
I'll be looking forward to it.
So will I. Arno.
Inspector Madero? The police?
Yes, senor.
What do you want with me?
A matter of routine, senor, nothing more. It's about your wife.
Yes? What about her?
It's come to our attention at headquarters that your wife is no longer living with you.
Correct.
Would you mind telling me why?
Well, we've separated.
For what reason? If you'd rather not tell...
No, I'm happy to tell. We simply couldn't get along anymore. We were incompatible. Constant quarreling. It became too much, so we decided to split up.
And she went elsewhere?
Yes.
Where?
I don't know.
You don't?
No, I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't care.
You have no idea where she might have gone? Back to her parents, perhaps? Relatives?
Well, her parents are dead. As for relatives... Why are you asking all these questions?
There is some talk of murder.
Murder? Oh, no, you mean she's met with foul play, been murdered?
No. The talk about town is that... You know how gossip spreads, Signor. You murdered her.
I? What?
It is silly, of course.
That's ridiculous. Utterly and completely ridiculous. Well, now, if you'll excuse me, Inspector, I have much to do.
The relatives...
The what?
Your wife, you said she has relatives.
Oh, yes. A sister in Rome and another in Florence.
I'd appreciate it if you'd give me their names and addresses.
Well, certainly. Only... Well, if you ask me, Inspector Madero, the police are making a mountain out of a molehill.
Routine. Nothing more.
Enjoying yourself, Isabella?
Oh, Arno, I am. You have no idea. Thank you for bringing me. It's so wonderful. There must be thousands and thousands of lights, all kinds of colors, and the music and the people in costume and fireworks. Arno, the fireworks have started. Let's get closer.
Well, if we can, but pushing through this crowd is going to be... Hey, what? Come on, Chester, stop blocking my way.
Why, Arno, it's me, Fortunato.
Father, I didn't know you were dressing up as a court jester.
Yes. How are you, Arno?
Well enough, Fortunato, and you?
Well, fine, except, I've been a little troubled, a little puzzled, not hearing from you, especially after I gave you a 3-month extension on the loan.
Well, I've been very busy, Fortunato. Very busy. Harvest time, you know. I just haven't had a moment to myself.
Yes, but still and all. Well, never mind. This is a night for fun and pleasure, which reminds me, have you managed to find some 23 Amontillado for me?
Well, the truth is, Fortunato, that... Now, I don't want to get your hopes raised, but...
You have found some.
No, not yet, but I may. Now, I say I may have located a barrel of it in Mantilla.
Old cask? Oh, if that is only true.
My agent is checking. I'll let you know.
As soon as you do, don't waste a minute. Well, see you later.
Look! Oh, Arno, look! At least 100 skyrockets all exploding at the same time.
It's at some size, isn't it?
It certainly is, Signor Montresor.
Who? Oh, Inspector Madero.
Well met, Signor. And isn't this Signorina Bellini with you?
Yes, Isabella, this is Inspector Madero of the police.
How do you do?
Enjoying the carnival, I hope?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Arno, by the way, she didn't go to her relatives.
What?
Your wife. She didn't go to her sister in Rome or Florence. We checked. They haven't seen her.
Oh, well, she must have gone elsewhere then.
Of course. The question is, where? You have no idea, as you said, Signor.
No.
Yes. Well, I'll just have to keep looking till I find her.
Arno, take me home now. I shouldn't have come to your house in the first place.
Oh, just another glass of wine, Isabella.
No. I can't seem to get up from the chair. What's happened to me?
I've drugged you, that's what's happened.
Drugged me?
To make killing you, murdering you, easier.
Murder?
You stupid, ugly little fool. You really believed me when I said I found you not unattractive. That I'd be delighted to escort you to the carnival.
What? Arno, what are you saying?
I'm saying that I'm going to do the same with you that I did with Margarita. Wall you up in the catacombs below.
You killed her? Then walled her up?
Oh, no. No, she was alive when I did it. At least she was when I put the last stone in place. But she didn't last long after that, I'm sure. It couldn't have been more than an hour or so before she suffocated to death.
Suffocate? I've got to get out of here. I can't move.
No, you can't, so you might as well stop trying. You haven't a chance, Isabella. Not a chance.
Why are you doing this to me?
Revenge. Revenge for what your father did to me. Revenge for what Margarita did to me. Revenge for what you did to me.
I?
You were right, you see. If you hadn't come running to me, falling over yourself to tell me what you'd seen, I'd never have known Margarita. My beloved Margarita. I'd never have known she'd been unfaithful. But you had to tell me. You and your wagging, gossiping tongue.
I didn't think.
I'd pick you up in my arms.
No.
And carry you down to the catacombs. To the second level below.
No.
And wall you up as I walled up Margarita.
Please.
Think what it will be like. As slowly one stone after another goes into place. A growing coffin lid for a stone coffin. Think of the agony that lies ahead when the last stone is placed and mortared in tight. Tight! And the air is cut off. And slowly, in agony and horror, you suffocate. Smother to death. Tell me now, little gossip. What have you to say to that? Nothing? I'm holding you in my arms, looking into your eyes. Eyes filled with fright, with terror. And you have nothing to say. Oh, you must have something. Surely there's some word you can speak, some sound you can make. That's it, again.
Consumed by revenge, Arnold Montresor bears the numbed body of Isabella away to the catacombs below, as the terror in her heart pours from her throat. And if I am not mistaken, Fortunato Bellini will be next in line for Arnold's vengeance. We'll see when Mystery Theater returns shortly with Act 3. Our theme, as I have said, is revenge. But in the Cask of Amontillado, we are also dealing with the perfect crime. What more perfect place for concealing a body, concealing it for even centuries, than in the wall of a catacomb, an ancient burial ground beneath the earth, itself a house of bones, skulls, and skeletons. Arnold Montresor has done this with his unfaithful wife Margarita, and now with Isabella, daughter of Fortunato, who seduced Margarita. But, as with all perfect crimes, the criminal inevitably goes one step too far.
Worried sick, Arno. What could have happened to Isabella after she left you?
Fortunato, my good friend, I wish I could tell you, though. Really, I do think you're worrying unnecessarily.
Now, what do you mean, unnecessarily? You say you brought her home last night at 12:30. But when I returned from the carnival at 3 this morning, she was not in the house. And here it is 2 in the afternoon the next day. Where is she?
If you ask me, she may have met with some friends and stayed with them.
No, I don't think so. It isn't like her, not like her at all. I must go to the police. I should have gone to them before this.
Oh, wait a little while yet. She'll show up. And by the way, I think I may have a surprise for you tonight. A pleasant surprise.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
The Amontillado. You have found me some Amontillado.
I didn't say that.
But that's what you mean. Where did you find it? How much of it?
Oh, now. You're running ahead of yourself and me. I said nothing about finding any Amontillado.
If you knew how much it means to me, the craving I have for that 1923 vintage.
I know. And believe me, when I tell you I've moved heaven and earth to find some for you.
And you have.
I didn't say that. And I'm not going to say another word until I'm sure I have the surprise for you.
And when will that be?
Perhaps tonight. Perhaps tomorrow. Perhaps never. I'll send a message to you. All right, keep moving. I want those grapes in before sundown.
Senor Montresor. A word with you?
Oh, Inspector, I'm very busy, as you can see.
Only a few minutes, no more.
Well, what?
Signor Bellini, you know him, I think?
Yes, we're very old friends.
He has reported his daughter missing, Isabella. You took her to the carnival last night, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Why?
Why? Well, I felt sorry for her. I've begun to learn what it's like to be lonely, and I've just felt sorry for her. A girl her age should have some fun out of life. Lord knows there's little enough.
True. About your wife, would you have any news for me?
News?
Have you heard from her? A letter, a message of some kind?
Why, no,
Well, if you do, be sure to let me know.
I will. Now, I must get back to my work. All right, you there, bring up the next cart.
One thing more, senor.
Yes, what?
I understand that the vineyard is built on catacombs, early Christian catacombs beneath us here.
Well, yes, where my house stands over there used to be a monastery. Of course, that was centuries ago.
Interesting, very interesting. You know, I have never been inside a catacomb.
Oh, is that so? No, not those baskets. Load those baskets.
Even when I was in Rome. I was wondering if you'd mind if I went down into yours.
Why, no, not at all. I'll take you down myself sometime.
Excuse me, senor, excuse me. I'm wondering if you might have seen a girl. She's 18. Her name is Isabella Bellini, and excuse me, signorina. Excuse me. Do you happen to know Isabella
Fortunato, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, she hasn't come home. No one has seen her. Everyone I've asked is...
What are you talking about?
Isabella. Would I be out here on the second night of Carnival if I hadn't...
Didn't you get my message?
What message?
I found her.
What?
I had to come into town late this afternoon to pick up the Cask of Amontillado.
Amontillado? A cask of Amontillado?
Yes, that's the surprise. My agent at Montilla several weeks ago, he found a whole cask.
No.
1923 vintage.
Oh.
Anyway, it arrived today, and when I came into town to get it, I ran into Isabella.
A whole cask?
I took her to my house. Dead on her feet from lack of sleep, and my house was the closest, so...
Then she's safe. Good. But the wine...
At my place, too, of course. Come on along. What a lucky night for you, my friend.
Yes.
You found your daughter and your favorite wine.
Good Lord, Arno. How far down into your infernal catacombs must we go?
To the third level. The lowest. This is the second. One more.
Why did you have to...
Careful. Parts of the walls have broken down. Take care not to trip on broken stones.
Now that I've turned my ankle, you tell me. Now, why did you have to bring the cask, a whole cask, down to the lowest level?
The dampness. Very damp. Dampest part of the catacombs. See, the walls here are sweating with condensation.
Yes, but why did you have to bring...
I'm afraid all you know about wine, Fortunato, is how to drink it. When a place is damp, it's cool. The damper, the cooler. And casks of wine must be stored in... Oh, here we are. Precede me. I'll hold the torch high to give light ahead.
Of all places to store wine, bones, skulls, skeletons. More a grave than a wine cellar.
A grave? Yes. The grave of people buried here centuries ago. And now, yours! Your grave, fool. So, you're coming to your senses, Fortunato. Good. Because I want you to feel. I want you to savor every moment of horror that lies before you.
My head. Oh, no. What's happened?
I knocked you out. I picked up a rock and knocked you out with it.
But why? What's this? My arms, my legs, I can't move them.
Because you're manacled to bolts in the wall.
What are you doing to me?
Walling you up, my friend, as I walled up Margarita, walled up Isabella, so you can die in agony of horror. Die of suffocation as they did.
Oh, no, let me go. Release me, I beg you.
You can beg till your tongue rots in your mouth. It'll do you no good.
Anything. I'll do anything you wish. I'll give you anything you wish.
You're doing that already, giving me exactly what I wish. Revenge, Fortunato. Revenge! That's it. That's it, fool. Fight to free yourself while I put another stone in place. Think of what's to come when the last stone, this one, goes in place. Darkness, blackness, the blackness of the grave. The grave made of walls covered with wet slime. The grave for the living. For you, as you die slowly. Slowly die of suffocation. The last stone. See, fool? See? Watch now as I put it in place. Watch. Your eyes can't tear themselves from it, eh? Let me look into them, your eyes, and enjoy, relish, taste the hideous fear, the ghastly horror of your soul. Into place it goes. Into place, the last stone. Now! Inspector Matero, to what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Why, in a way, Signor Montresor, it's at your invitation.
I invited you?
Several weeks ago. You recall I mentioned that I'd never been down in the catacombs, and you said you would take me on a tour sometime.
Oh, that, yes. Well, I'm delighted to do so, but not today. I haven't the time.
I'm afraid the tour of the catacombs must be made today.
It's impossible, Inspector. I assure you, if I had the time to take you on a tour,
I'm sorry, I should have made myself clear. I'm talking about me taking you on a tour.
You taking me?
Oh, yes. I've already seen them. Your overseer showed me around this morning, after I showed him the search warrant.
What are you trying to tell me?
That you're under arrest for the murder of Signor Fortunato Bellini, his daughter Isabella, and your wife Margarita.
You're out of your mind.
No, but I think you were out of yours. I must congratulate you, Signor. You came close, very close, to committing the perfect crime. But you overlooked one single factor, one very small thing.
What?
We'll go down, and I'll show you.
No.
Yes.
Fortunato's body. Exposed to view. The wall torn down. How did you find him?
We didn't.
But who broke the wall down then?
No one. It collapsed of its own weight. You see, Senor, the one mistake you made, the one thing you forgot, was the dampness on this third level. The excessive moisture. The wetness.
The cement. The cement wouldn't dry. It didn't dry.
I'll be back shortly with a final thought. During our rehearsal of the Cask of Amontillado, a friend of mine visiting the studio said, "You know, Hi, this isn't the Poe story exactly as he wrote it." I agree, it wasn't, and explained that there's such a vast difference between story writing and playwriting that no adaptation can follow any story exactly. However, I also explained that our respect and admiration for Edgar Allan Poe impelled us to retain all of the story wherever possible, and above all, its chilling horror. Our cast included Richard Kiley, Francis Sternhagen, Leon Janney, Robert Maxwell, and Robert Dryden. Associate Director, Marlon Swing. This is Hyman Brown, Producer-Director, inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, then, pleasant dreams.